to build myself and like my brand and my person, so that rather than having to say like, hey, this person had a bad take on this, and I still do that, right? Like I did the Turkey Town video, but I try to focus more on building myself up and my appearance and my presence out more, so that like eventually, hopefully, I'll have more of like a prevailing narrative on particular topics. So like you might see a video from somebody talking about like people with disabilities on the internet, and that video gets like 10,000 views, and then like maybe though I'm at a point where I can get a video that hit like 100,000 people and be like, oh
yeah, you can, okay.
And it's more about like, okay, people might be ready to listen to me, and then like of course it's not like I use a lot of videos to like bounce off of. There's nothing wrong with reacting to videos. That's for the reasons, but for the most part, that's kind of been my mantra. It's like a slow grower. I'm not trying to like start with controversy. I understand where you're coming from. It's like an uphill battle to try to educate people on people with disabilities on the internet. It's very hard because like nobody cares online.
I agree with you. I don't want to come off as I want to start a controversy. I'm just like so used to that's how they do it. They're just like, and I don't want to come to be like, oh, I gotta conform. To the YouTube, because I'm doing everything. I'm doing animal stuff, I'm doing gaming stuff, I'm doing drama stuff, like I'm doing everything. I mean, I don't care. I'm doing what I want. But I just like I had this perspective, I guess, a lot, which I really agree with yours. I mean, like if 100, it just kind of mows you over. That's what I'm kind of going for too at one point. But I want my quote-unquote battles to be my standing point. Like, dude, he just destroyed all of his viewpoints. Like, this guy just looks horrible, And that's where I guess the battle,
Yeah,
which is not an actual battle, it's just a debate. Or reaction video, like you were saying.
Yeah, I think that you want to move mission, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And you should try to pace yourself out and, like, start at square one.
I'm horrible with that.
Yeah, you gotta, take a breath, start at square one, and just kind of, like, focus more on, just build, like, do you have a channel? Like, do you have, like, an actual channel?
Yeah. I'm sadly, so I know this is cringe, but I hate myself because I'm really trying to, I work night shift 40 hours a week, and I come home and I literally wake up and I got 3 hours, and I just spend time with my girlfriend, I go to work, and I'm like, I really need to do something with myself, because I want to do YouTube, and every day I go to work, and, and I hate it because there's other YouTubers and other people out here who can do this. They work 40-hour weeks, they go work a second job, and they come home and they do YouTube. Dude, you are the reason why I feel bad sometimes, because you worked a 40-hour week as a bus cleaner.
Yeah, no,
and you come home and you still did this shit.
Yeah.
You're crying about it.
For me, I also, like, it was easier for me because I was able to make TikToks and stuff at work, and I blew up on that, and then I converted it to Twitch. So by the time I hit, like, Twitch streaming, like, I already was established enough to, like, make money, so I knew it was worth it. For you, it sounds like okay. So, do you have any plan on how you want to make your content at all? Like, what's your plan to do any of your stuff? Do you have, like, a plan yet?
I know it sounds cringe, but just do it. I'm not going to be, like, jumping around, but I do have some series I wanted to come up. One of them I just started called Finishing What I Started, because, like I was telling you, I have a really bad problem with not finishing what I started.
Sure,
and so the videos are just now me finishing a game that I didn't finish, and I talk about stuff. And the second one is Nostalgia Trip. That's just another gaming thing. I have an animal video up talking about all my animals. But it is, like you said, it's everywhere, but that's kind of like, that's the basis of my content right there. Is just kind of like...
Okay, how much time do you have to devote to your content, like a week?
I want to make it more... Hold up a second. How much time do you think I have a week? Yeah, that's about very little.
That's fine. So what I would say, because like I said, you're very ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but I think that you need to kind of like zero in on what you want to do, because you right now don't, like, it sounds like you want to play games, you want to do this, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to do a lot of stuff.
Games are my biggest, but I feel like it's too much competition.
Well, you need to pick something that you enjoy, because if you're not going to enjoy it, then you're not going to like put the work in, because you're not going to have like a passion for it. If you don't have a passion for what you're doing, like, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it if I don't have a passion. Like, gaming, I know it sounds cringe, but I've grown up on YouTube, and I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I'm on YouTube every day. I just really know so many YouTubers. Like, there was a guy, I watched Asmongold yesterday, and my friend Fig was like, oh, do you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, it's Grand Line Review. And she's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I just love the community. I love the people around it, and like gaming is always my favorite. I'm always gonna love gaming, but it's just so much competition. Like, what are the chances of me out of anybody getting famous off of gaming? Like, there's so many gaming people. I think if I had I'm not going against you because I 100% agree. I do need to focus on a content. I just think if I had a little bit of a spin, like like you play games. You attracted me with some of your games in the background. Like I said, I have a little bit of autism, so I'm just sitting here watching balloons fly around sometimes. I'm not even listening to you, I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I love monkeys. I'm just watching this shit. And then sometimes I tune back in. So that's what I'm not going to cap, bro. If you go on my channel, the recent review channel I did, I said, I'm stealing Papa's content. I don't care. I'm playing Dark Tide, and I'm fucking watching this video because this pissed me off, and I'm doing it.
There's nothing wrong with doing anything like that. The only thing you want to do is like figure out what your priority is. If your thing is like, I want to play video games while I do commentary, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to first like figure out what you want to do before moving forward, because like you want to let's say you have like 2 hours a week. You want to focus on that. You have to. I don't know. Do you stream your stuff? Do you not stream? I don't really know exactly.
I kind of got insecure streaming, but I can pick it up. No, I mean, I do either way. I do stream, but I use it like just like you would. I stream and I take the VOD and I edit it down. So it's like either way I record or stream. Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of been discouraged because I stream for like. It's stupid because I should stop streaming for 6 hours, and I'll do it for like 3. Like, I really do listen to a lot of your content. Like, I just listen to when you talk about doing YouTube. I'll do like 3 hours. I'll try to be like as funny as I can, and I'll cut it down. But I can't do 3 hours anymore because like I'll probably do like an hour or two before work.
Yeah. And how many days a week do you do it?
I got a head injury, and now I'm getting back to my I'm actually just this week I'm getting back to my routine. So I'm trying to every day. I come home, I go to sleep, I wake up, I'll probably have 5 hours. So I want to do it every day.
Like 5 hours a day?
Well, yeah, I'm not doing a good sleep schedule. I actually I'm busting my ass.
So you're 22. So okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Can I push myself a little bit to get some stuff out? And a lot of people are like, do it so you can get somewhere that you want to. You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck it, I'll sacrifice some sleep to it.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So it sounds like your thing. You kind of want to do like video games, right? And then you want to do like reaction or something at the same time. Is that kind of what you're doing?
I'm sorry, but you're such a big influence on me. I really want to be like gaming, and then something kind of like you, where I talk about serious topics, and people are like, "Oh, he has a good viewpoint,"
Okay, so all right, so here's what I would say. Just generally speaking, I would try to get it down to like one type of content. If you want to do reactions, do that. If you want to you can play games while you react. Like I'm a reaction channel, right? So I do reaction commentary. I play games, but it's just like kind of something that like I do because it makes me enjoy the work more. If you want to do like video game reviews, there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to figure out your niche. What is it that you really enjoy doing? I don't know what that is. Depending on what it is, it's going to take a different level of interaction to do. Like if you do commentary, I do comment. That's something I can really give you like specific advice on. So if you do commentary, I think that you should generally aim to do something in a way where you have at least one video that you post a day about commentary. Nothing super crazy. Just like figure out a topic. If you can't get one a day, that's fine too. If you want to do 3 a week, it doesn't have to be one a day, but keep it consistent. Maybe you want to stream 2 days a week, or let's say I don't know how many days. Let's say you stream like 3 days a week, or even 1 day a week. I'm not saying you have to. Okay, let's say. Okay, you want to do something. You don't want to do something that takes away from time from like your girlfriend too. Don't want to kill that. So like, let's say you stream 1 or 2 days a week, or you didn't even stream. You just react to videos offline. You upload them, and you decided to you're gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, posting the videos where you're gonna do one every day, whatever you can handle. Let's say you do 3. That's a good place to start. You do 3 reactions a week. You do them all in one day, and then you post them like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at like the same time every day, like 12 in the afternoon, whatever. And then what you want to do is you want to try to find like a clip there that might be like funny or insightful, and you're gonna want to make a YouTube short on it, and you're gonna want to make a TikTok, and you're gonna want to make like an Instagram reel, and then that's pretty much what you're gonna want to do, and you're gonna want to do that consistently to try to get yourself like out there. But you want to keep it consistent, and you don't want to burn out, or else you're not gonna like it. It's gonna take a long time to hit, and this clip stuff is gonna be like your biggest pusher.
I'll do it for years. This is I actually do love this. I've done it forever. The one thing I did want to ask was, have you ever considered, you obviously did it before, and it was probably stressful as hell, but a lot of the time you talk about, I didn't disagree with, I was kind of a little upset about it, but a lot of the time I feel like you put a lot of it on yourself, and not your wife don't have to worry about this, but you put it all on yourself, oh, is this a right move, or is this like I said, a buddy? Why don't you have any buddies on here? Like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything.
No.
Like,
what do you mean any buddies? Do you mean people
like,
talk to?
You have Ryan Beard, you know, and like you got Curly, but like somebody who you like. I'm just gonna say, like me, a loser who'd be sitting in your Discord, you're like, hey, what does smoking on that pack mean? Jarhead, what the fuck does smoking on that pack mean? And, you know, you're just like, I'm just like, hey, yeah, it means you killed someone, and now you're making fun of them.
Well, I just asked the chat when they asked me.
Yeah,
smoking on that
I was
pack.
just wondering, because there was times where, like, I'll sit here and watch the stream, and I'll sit here, like, watch you play WoW, and you're like, yeah, I just don't really play with people, I just chill by myself. I'm like, is that because you don't want people? Like, you don't trust the community? Or, like, I just wanted to hear your opinion on that.
For the most part, I'm just very to myself. Like, honestly, like, I'm just very independent to myself. I've never had, like, a whole lot of friends. Like, I've always just been chilled to myself, and I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I could do more community stuff, but it's not, like, anything personal against people. Like, I try to check in with the Discord from time to time, but, like, a lot of times when this is, like, another thing that I try to really engage with, too, is, like, when I'm offline, I'm off. Like, when I'm not working, I try to be offline for the most part, because for a long time, especially when I was on TikTok, it was nothing but my phone all the time, always on my phone, always trying to do this, always trying to do that, and it gets, like, very stressful. So I'm trying to turn off and just, like, hang out with my wife, or do chores around the house, or do shit that I have to get done, or like exercise, or like prepare food for myself because I'm trying to lose weight so that we can have kids and like stuff like that. So it's like nothing personal. And I'm also really inconsistent with games.
You better not leave when you have a kid, dude.
No, I can't leave. This is my job now. I make my money maker.
Yeah, I had a theory.
More money, so.
When I heard that, like, I was excited because you're like, I'm trying. So I was like, that seems like they're struggling a little bit. And I was, me and my girlfriend talking about it. I was like, that's good. And I was like, no, it's not, because we'd be gone. He ain't gonna come back. You gonna have that kid. He's gonna
this is my career. So I'm very fortunate because I'll be able to take care of the kid and stuff when I can stay home and take care of the kid and shit like that. So I'm gonna be able to do stuff like that.
Now, here is my last thing that I remember very well, because somebody was trolling me, which also, by the way, Super said Papa needs a mukbang channel. I don't know if that's calling you fat.
No, I can't do that. It's too unhealthy for me. Like, I literally could not do. I guess I could with my wife. My wife and I should probably make content. My wife and I thought about doing content, but she really just.
Dude, you should.
It would do really well. She is, but she doesn't really like to consistently doing stuff because she doesn't really like people on YouTube. Like, not like you.
That's understandable too.
But the general community of people can be very obnoxious and toxic. It's
well,
it's not even worth the deal with.
It is, because for no reason, like, people were attacking her that one time. And it just didn't make any fucking sense. And that's what was horrible, because that's why I worry about my girlfriend. She's talking about this stuff. Like, she wants to get into, like, talking about serious stuff. I'm like, you know, her main thing is being a teacher.
Women get shit
she wants to be a teacher, so that's what I was telling her.
Women get shit on more than anything else for, like, everything. Honestly, worse than I don't know what it is on the internet. Like, women get I forgot what we said. Oh, one take we had a long time ago was about Trisha Paytas, and we both said Trisha's not really that fat. She's just a shitty person. And so, of course, people were in the comments talking about how, like, fat and disgusting my wife was. And it's like, what the fuck are you, like, going crazy? It's like, Jesus Christ, like, you people are fucking animals. Like, what? She's not that fat. She's just a bad person. Like, I don't like her. That's all it is.
No, yeah.
People are very toxic. It's really worth it. We've thought about that. She wants to do stuff here and there, but...
I just feel bad because she's actually, like, good for content. But I have one more thing, and I'll let you get going.
All right, one more.
So there is one thing that I guess I got actually butthurt over, but now there's a friend that you have, that the Pudge podcast. All right, I'm gonna put a very good line on this. Pud, I'm sorry to say this, man, you deserve all the shit you get. You deserve all the fucking. Dude, he's scared of a Dracula mask. I mean, come on.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm saying, like, all the shit you guys give him, it's warranted. But I was a guy who was the butt of the joke. But it wasn't like I'm running around scared of a literal Dracula mask. Like, that I understand. Like, that's just, dude, he can't be freaking out. You kind of get that.
Well, people just always tormented him and shit. Like, they done really fucked up shit. Like, one time
that was me.
Yeah, they fucked it up pretty hard, so.
So I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because some things, like, I do agree, like, dude, if you're Okay, so like you know him better than me, so you said they tormented him, which is why I like. I'm not gonna get into that because I don't know him. But when I saw the video, I was like, bro, if it's just stuff like that, I get it. But if it's like more what you said, I also like am not against it, but you also like apologize or whatever. But I just wanted to say like most people who are like the butt of jokes, I don't know if they know if they can even ever get out of it.
Well, yeah, his confidence is a little broken down. Like the people who talk to him, like I have, but there are people who get fucked up really bad before, like to the point where it like really frustrates them. So I can understand why he gets upset sometimes.
That's what I was wondering. I wanted to ask you because in that video, I don't remember what one it was, but you brought him up as an example. Like a lot of people are butts of jokes and they lose their confidence, you know, and they don't get that. But what made me upset was I was like, it seems like you know how to solve that. Like you're like, oh, you just got to get some confidence. I'm like, well, could you give maybe, for me, example? I actually had to cut off a friend recently because I was talking to him about something serious, and he's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like that doesn't make any sense. You're an idiot. And I'm like, I'm trying to be for real with you, and you're out here memeing, like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I had to cut him off, and it was a good friend of mine, I hated it, but I couldn't talk seriously to him, so I was wondering, like, if you could give some advice to us losers out here who,
what people that are fucking with you too much, you just kind of have to cut off people who are very toxic, and if you try to set a boundary, if they don't respect you, just don't interact with them anymore. Try not to get too upset by what they say, like outwardly.
That's the hard part.
But
that's why I think we need to struggle.
Set like a reasonable boundary. If they don't adhere to it, just don't be their friend anymore. He just said it. That's pretty much it.
That's why I was struggling with it. When I watched that video, I was hoping you'd be like, not in like a bad way, but just like give advice to be like, just not just straight up be a man, leave him, but like yeah, you can do this, like you just said right there. Give him a warning. Like, how do you not look like a bitch? And you're like, just give him a warning.
Oh, that's why you gotta, they gotta set the boundary. Anyway, I'm gonna stop it right here.
Yeah, you're good, bro. All I wanted to say though was thank you for being a father figure to us. That's all I wanted to say.
Problem.
Like you go for that, and that's what you do. You do a good job at it.
Next time you want to chat, if you have something like you want to talk about and like contest me on or whatever, just make sure that you record it for your content as well. Like honestly,
okay, I did this for this too.
Yeah, biggest advice. Did you record this?
Yes, I did. When you said record, I was like,
you should because like one thing you have to learn is like you never. It doesn't matter if you're a smaller content creator. If you are going to talk to somebody, you're putting in some level of work, and you are entitled to that conversation as much as I am. So, have the recording for yourself. Post it yourself. I'm probably going to post it too. But post it for yourself. Put your description in the description. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
And then but make sure you do that. Like, don't unless there's a specific agreement beforehand of like this is my content only. Like, you should be doing it. Like, move with a purpose. So.
Yeah, I'll say, I'm sorry, one last thing.
All right, one more.
It's not a topic, I just wanted to say, like, I met an artist called Lil Darky, and he's obviously, we're not going to get into that, but he told me, he was like, call your grandpa, because I can't anymore, and tell him I love you to your grandpa, and then right after that, he was like, what are you trying to do with yourself? I said, YouTube. And I said, I'm trying my, and he goes, shut the fuck up, just do it. And I called my grandpa, and he said the same thing, just do it. And that's what you're telling me right now. So I just want to say to everybody, if you're scared, just fucking do it. As I know it sounds really scary, but even Papa told the man right here, just do it. Just go out there.
What you gotta do, brother.
Try your best. But I'll head out of here, Brody. Thanks for everything.
No problem.
If I actually had a better point, some good arguments, I'll bring it back to you. Thanks for everything.
Don't worry about it, man. Take care. Have a good one.
Good stream.
Thank you. Peace out.
I want Papa God to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.
Charmin's Diamond Weave texture cleans better, so you can use less. Charmin Ultra Strong.
Alright guys, here we go. We got another incredible internet J video, the rise and fall of Channel Awesome, the company that gutted itself. What? Papa gutted itself. Dang. No one was expecting that joke. So let's watch it and let's hope that it's not really low for some reason because internet J videos are very low. Oh, it's low. Okay, well, that's life. That's fine. Turn myself down. The rise and fall.
Jens, the inventor of the internet at Jay here. In this minute,
this interesting angle from Jay. I like the original one.
For a Zoom meeting, I'm going to be discussing the downfall of Channel Awesome. So Channel Awesome ran the widely known Back Out of the Glasses content that most of us remember.
I don't personally know who this person is at all. Okay. I just haven't watched Jay for so long, and I miss him, you know. I miss those bushy eyebrows. But the problem is that Jay is fucking hiding it, bro. He's wearing that horrible beanie. What are you doing, bro? It's not a bad beanie. I just missed the eyebrows.
I certainly do, because it was one of the shows that raised me growing up.
It's like,
I scheduled it into my daily routine just like I did with brushing my teeth or showering. And yes,
hey, if I did that too, I would barely watch. You know what I mean? My theory is that the plaque buildup is supposed to protect your teeth, guys. That's why you don't need to shave your teeth. Okay?
Indians do shower, you racists. I was honestly glued to the host of TGWTG, Doug Walker. His sardonic reviews, crisp intelligence, and genuine personality was fresh and stood out among the rest. I particularly enjoyed his Ask That Guy videos in which he hilariously answered ridiculous questions.
If you found yourself trapped in an underground Egyptian chamber, how would you escape if you only had a revolver and a pen to help you?
Oh, I'd probably shoot myself, to be honest with you. There's no way I'm escaping. I'd rather just fucking go out on my own terms at that point. That sounds horrible.
I forgot to mention that the chamber is filled with transvestite scorpions and radioactive monkeys.
What is a transvestite scorpion? Like, if that could be kind of hot, I might not even want to leave.
That's a very good question. Actually, no, it isn't. It is the worst question I've ever been asked in my entire life. Shame. My advice is to kill yourself and burn in the fiery flames of hell. Trust me, you will be doing the world and
Kind of based, actually.
Yeah.
His film analysis was also detail-oriented and influenced the way many viewers looked at the big screen. Notably, though, that guy with the glasses was part of the Channel Awesome empire.
Guys, it was a joke. I would never take my own life, of course.
It ran like an emotionless business conglomerate, which led to some unpopular decisions and the mistreatment of certain staff. Blizzard. As a result, Channel Awesome had its ultimate demise. In order to understand how Channel Awesome fit into the online sphere at the time, we have to backtrack a little.
Man.
You see, back in 2007, YouTube wasn't the monopolistic platform it is now. Rather, it was a baby company that could be felt by...
What do you mean monopolistic? I mean, to an extent, YouTube is kind of a monopoly. Like, they have a hold on pretty much all internet video shit. I will say one thing, though. They seem to, like, they're decent. I don't know. Like, that's one of the things I'm afraid about, because, like, they're putting everybody out of fucking business, man. Like, TikTok, with their YouTube shorts to just pay better, especially, and they're like, I'm probably not using TikTok ever again. Like, I go request for a creator because I just got banned again today for nothing. I had no videos taken down. Like, I don't know what's happening. TikTok prioritizes too much of, like, mass reporting. Like, if somebody reports your video, they will ban you before, like, reviewing it. All my videos get reviewed for whatever, and they always go back up, but it doesn't matter because people are reporting them. Don't fucking body me, bitch. I'll fucking shoot the hell out of you. But yeah, it's like YouTube is better. They don't just like say like, oh, you don't like a video, we're gonna remove it instantaneously. So TikTok's dying. So they will become. I think that they're gonna end up becoming like a monopoly. And then it's like, are they gonna do the right thing? Because right now, I think that they do. They give people 50%. I think that's pretty fair. What happens if they decide they don't have to? You know,
better competition. So when Doug Walker started making videos,
I called to see what time you're gonna be coming home, so I know when to shower.
The name Nostalgia Critic, he wasn't exactly tied to YouTube. To him, it was merely another website. And well, after he got hit with a multitude of copyright claims, he decided to bounce and created thatguywiththeglasses.com in 2008.
Damn,
the website featured nostalgia.
Everybody was just making their own fucking website.
Squarespace.
I remember seeing this guy on
a website that makes websites.
I remember seeing this guy on like fucking like working with James Rolfe. Man, I like the quantum release. Stop fucking you, bro.
That guy with the glasses and bum reviews. His brother Rob was a contributor and sometimes made cameos. Nostalgia Critic was an in-depth comedic film review series that surfaced the backbone of Doug's content. By criticizing even the worst of movies, he demonstrated there was always an entertainment value to be found. People loved watching Doug dish the dirt and dissect plots like they were frauds in biology class. His fast-paced, cracked-out reactions were also insanely addicting.
This is the shit! So start off like a helicopter was taken down years ago. And then like an helicopter and we'll shoot. And I was like, wow! That's a trans-
Oh, I can see why it's not the last super long. This is just like a very high energy. I don't think that people necessarily respond to it. He probably just, is he still like content? He probably just changed a little bit. And he's just like a little less high energy. There's nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. I mean, when I was younger, I'd probably be into it, but I'm an adult viewing it for the first time, so it seems more cringe to me.
It's so cool!
Ask That Guy with the Glasses, on the other hand, featured a robe-wearing, cigar-smoking, book-reading Doug with sarcastically roasted inquisitive people. Now, I want to mention Walker didn't launch thatguywiththeglasses.com as an independent venture. Instead, he relied on the media company Channel Awesome to operate it. Channel Awesome was created by Mike Ellis, Mark Abram, and Raju, and Mike Machow, who served as CEO. Their relationship was symbiotic as the company provided Doug with HR, advertising, and financing while he supplied the engaging content. Although Doug was the main focus of thatguywiththeglasses.com, other creators were featured too. There was the Angry Joe Show, Caught in the Shadows, and the Cinema Star. In exchange for posting videos, they received valuable exposure, which hopefully led to increased growth. I mean, the website attracted
attracted a ton of attention. Nostalgia Critic alone averaged around 1 million views per month.
Damn.
While that might not be an impressive...
Wait, on his thing? Just on his... Wow, I took a lot of fucking damage on that. Just on his website? That's fucking awesome. Good for him.
As of number today, it was quite an achievement back in the late 2000s. Through a combination of ad revenue and donations, Walker made enough money to quit his job as an illustrator and focus on That Guy with the Glasses full time. This only increased his quality and led to an even bigger surge in popularity. Doug Walker went on to make 4 films: Kick-Ass, Suburban Nights, The Bold Italy, and the poorly received Pink Floyd parody Nostalgia Critic's The Wall. By 2011, Channel Awesome had over 7 full-time staff and over 20.
He never changed. That's why he's considered cringe now. Yeah, I get that. You guys kind of update. You gotta go with the flow. You gotta move with the times. But, oh, you fucking bastard. Oh, I'm just dying. I'm just gonna die.
Contributors. However, in 2014, ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com mysteriously shut down and rebranded as ChannelAwesome.com. In addition, there was such a large exodus of producers that BuzzFeed looked like a respectable organization in comparison. So, what happened?
Producer allegations.
In March 2018, several years after the rebrand, a few ex-producers went fucking ham on Twitter about how terrible it was. First, the CEO, Mike Machad, was called out for hating women. Doug and his brother were also apparently complicit. Also, Machad is a fuckhead who complained about all the women visiting the site. I saw him once in person since we live in close proximity and scowled at him quite visibly. Yes, he definitely does not like women. I believe he called me a troublemaker at one point. In addition for being...
So he would do really well now with all the high-value male speak that's going on.
The sexist with terrible ideas that would tank the site if not for Doug's luck. The Walkers are also complicit in just letting him do all that as their CEO.
I mean, I feel like that, like the whole hating women thing is like normal on the internet now. Like that's something that actually canceled back then. I'm surprised.
Also fuck them as well. To make matters worse, the CEO was accused of using Skype to verbally abuse one of the producers. I stayed as far away from large group conversations as possible when in my very first year 9 years ago, Machad mistitled one of my vids on the site and I said on the forums there had been a titling mistake and then he Skype screamed at me for making it look bad. Shit filled the metaphorical fedora past the brim when another producer... There had been a titling mistake and then...
Say for large groups, sorry, first year 9 years ago. Wait, well, it's okay. So I don't know the specifics, but in their defense, this girl works for them, and then they mistitled one of the videos. So she went to the Forbes and said that there was a mistake. But if you worked there, wouldn't it be better to not publicize it like that? I don't know. I might be a little irritated too if I'm interpreting that the correct way.
Skype screamed at me for making him look bad. Shit filled the metaphorical fedora past the brim when another producer, Lindsay Ellis, aka the Nostalgia Chick, claimed she was pressured into doing an implied rape scene in the movie to boldly flee. The scene that made it to the final cut was a more watered down version though.
Oh, that's spooky. Oh, mother's a fucking prostitute, holy fuck. No, don't fucking hurt me. Dude, I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna get fucking so upset.
What the hell is taking them so long?
Your brain. You look like you heard what I said. How would you know? I'm French. You know.
Yeah, are they coming?
That's a loaded question. Oh, nothing then. Getting busy, keeping busy with heterosexual extracurricular activities.
Surprisingly, Ellis is...
Okay, I mean, that just sounds like a cringe movie. Okay, sure.
These accusations were met with a mixed reaction. Some immediately jumped to her defense, while others felt her words were baseless and lacked proof. A Reddit post mentioned she was...
Well, so if they toned it down, like, okay, so they might have been like, oh, we want to add like a fucking rape scene in this or whatever, or like a sexy. It doesn't seem like it was supposed to be that, but maybe they were. And then you can say no, and it sounds like that she might have, and then they just didn't care. It might make her uncomfortable, but if it's part of a movie, and it's pretty movies that do that, it's not like it's that big of a deal. Joe, wake up.
Happy to do the implied rape scene and even made a rape rap in the past. I'll say it again. I don't buy it. Louis, sure. Dude's a classic white knight. Lindsay, not so much. She was enthusiastic about recording the moans and screams, and this she didn't have a problem with the date rape joke she filmed with Spoonie or the rape rap that she wrote and started. Whether the producer's allegations were true or not, the negative PR they generated really hurt Channel Awesome. I mean, it wasn't too difficult to believe a male-dominated business could discriminate against women or pressure
that's
into
probably
an
true.
uncomfortable scene. As a result, the company's image morphed in many people's mind from positive to creepy. And trust me, no company wants to develop a bad image because it severely hurts their brand.
I do. That's
the situation went from bad to James Charles when a 7...
The joke is that I look bad. That's the joke there. Sorry, a lot of fat jokes today. Holy fuck, dude. there's a lot of shit.
A 3-page Google Doc called Not So Awesome was released in April 2018. It was a collection of experiences and accusations from over 20 different employees. They included, but were not limited to, poor communication, mismanagement, verbal abuse, bullying, and sexual misconduct. And while the document created a shitstorm so bad it was like a septic tank was blown up with C4, I don't have time to go over each point in detail, so I'm going to focus on what I thought were the main highlights. 1. The COO, Mike Ellis, was accused of repeatedly sexually harassing an HR employee named Holly Brown. She was let go in 2010, but it was revealed the company put her in a safe house for a few days in case Ellis threatened her with physical violence. Brown claimed she was a target because other producers often complained to her about being mistreated. 2nd, an anonymous employee stated Channel Awesome knew about a certain sexual deviant for over a year. The deviant was later released from the company.
I mean, look what happened in, like, Blizzard, obviously, you mentioned that before. There's, like, this kind of shit was, especially back then, so normalized and so fucked up. Where you have, like, dudes in positions of power that would, like, hit on the girls. It's pretty fucked. So,
3rd,
or not even just hit on them, but, like, harass them, make them feel uncomfortable, not take no for an answer, that kind of shit. So I really wouldn't doubt that this happened.
Mentioned there wasn't enough done to protect female producers from abusive comments. 4th, multiple employees said they weren't compensated for their work. In response to everything, the company posted this non-apology on Twitter that reeked of corporate lexicon. Channel Awesome then posted another more detailed response which was nearly as bad as Logan Paul's. First, they claimed everything was due to disgruntled employees. I found this kind of odd considering a vast multitude of producers wouldn't just accuse the company of various egregious misdeeds for no reason. Not only would they have nothing to gain, but rather the opposite would be true. They risked their entire careers to fight for a better workplace. In addition, Channel Awesome wrote, "We cannot address all 73 plus pages of accusations against us in this forum, but we will address the most egregious now, which I think is a major cop-out." They owe it to the people who took the time to write them. Otherwise, it silences those who already felt their voices weren't being heard. It's obvious the Channel Awesome leadership was doing their best to control the narrative. Unfortunately, the reputation was basically that of 2 Girls, 1 Cup, a disgusting internet sensation.
Whoa! Don't insult 2 Girls, 1 Cup like that, you know? You guys ever, like, you guys ever watch, like, a piece of media? And, like, let's say you watch a movie, like, you have a movie, like, maybe it's your favorite movie from when you're a kid, and then you get older, and you're like, wow, this movie actually sucks. Or you watch a movie that when you're a kid you don't understand, like, the deeper meaning behind it, and then you get older, and then you watch it again, and you're like, wow, this movie was actually fucking incredible. Right? All I'm saying is that, like, a lot of you guys saw 2 Girls, 1 Cup when you were younger, and you don't know if you find it disgusting anymore, unless you unless you watch it again. Okay? I recommend that you shit through it. And give it another shot, guys. Okay? It's not that bad, if you really... It's not that bad. It's not that bad. We will not tolerate disrespect of 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Okay. Yeah, that should happen sometimes, exactly.
Sadly, Doug seemed to be caught in the middle of all the drama. While he didn't do anything particularly reprehensible, he did turn a blind eye to what was going on.
True.
But before we tar and feather him publicly, we have to consider that Doug probably never had a real choice. That's because Channel Awesome was widely suspected to have owned IP rights to that guy with the glasses. This implies Walker was forced to play ball or suffer the consequences. I'm guessing he was faced with the difficult decision of siding with his friends or staying out of it and letting the business operate. I speculate him choosing the latter hurt the others deeply, which generated spite. Many of the producers were likely inspired by...
Yeah, I mean, if everybody got together, he should have said, fuck it, let's do the right thing. I mean, you know, I can understand being in a position where, like, you don't want to call out your boss or something because you don't want to, like, lose your job and shit. It happens in the real world every day. It's part of the problem. But, like, you know, you're an independent creator. It would be good to do something, you know? Let's defend your friends, especially for making all the money. Although I wonder how much they were actually making, because, like, you know how these fucking businesses are. And sometimes they just, like, fucking milk these people dry, and they don't really give them as much as they deserve.
Walker felt some sort of camaraderie being associated with him. But since he was the cash cow, he was spared from the onslaught of issues and was likely prioritized, but had to stand by while Channel Awesome destroyed his friends. About 2 days after the second response was published, pretty much every single producer quit Channel Awesome. The Walkers and a few others were the only ones left. I guess they didn't walk her away. Sorry, that was cringe.
Hey, that was Shane Ralphie.
Awesome. The Walkers and a few others were the only ones left. I guess they didn't walk her away. Sorry,
I got him. That was good. I like that one, Jay. I love that joke. That was just for
In August 2021, Doug appeared on Double Toast and discussed the controversy for the first time in an online setting. He stated the company got too big, which led to poor communication.
Has anything changed? Have you felt like, well, maybe I'm more humble right now? Have you doubled down on the responses that you've given people? And just overall, how did you move forward?
I mean, it's always something where, I mean, you just gotta see it for what it is. And I think, for me anyway, and for all of us, we tried to, the big thing that we always acknowledge, we were never that great at, was communication, because we had just God knows how many people in there, and we'd always have problems coming at us. And, I think we bit off more than we could chew, probably, with that. So there's a reason where after all that happened, we just kept everything in-house.
He then rambled on in a vague...
I mean, there's not a lot of context there. You made it seem like he said, well, it boiled everything down to non-communication, insinuating insinuating that he was saying that like the sexual harassment was just because of non-communication. It seems more likely that like he was just bringing it up for context as like part of a greater conversation. There probably was a communication issue on top of the sexual harassment stuff.
Manner about how he enjoyed his work and appreciated everything.
I really love the people I work with, and I really get along with them. I'm so blessed to have these folks I'm working with, and we try to learn some of the things that we've done in the past. I mean, some of it I'm like, well, that some of it's stuff I'm like, yeah, I wish I didn't do that, and other things I'm like, that doesn't seem like too big a deal, and people still kind of go back and forth on it. What's a big deal? What isn't? And so forth. But I think the big thing is not going too big, so you keep focus on what really is important, which is the people that do work very hard for you, that you see all the time, and try to treat them with as much respect as possible.
Walker's polite response regarding the drama was certainly disappointing, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, he's obviously going to do that for his own career and stuff. I understand that. It'd be nice if he had a little more of a backbone, but I can understand the professional setting part, especially since my understanding is back then. It's right here. A lot of these people, I think Jay brought up before, they don't even own their own brand. So it makes it so that they can't even work. I don't even know how much of I don't know if he can even really commit to the character. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, if I quit this job, I lose my entire persona because they own it. Sometimes I think shit like that happens.
Whether he was contractually obligated to skirt the subject or not, the fact is he decided to stay on with Channel Awesome even after the allegations came out. He's actually still with them, and the Nostalgia Critic series is still the crown jewel of Channel Awesome. However, while Walker's videos currently generate hundreds of thousands of views on average, it's a far cry from the millions he received before. I also think the content is really cringy because it's full of forced humor and unnecessary special effects.
It sounds like an Internet of Jay video.
What's going on here? Are you all taking it easy because it's January again?
Maybe. You should take it easy because it's December.
Did you forget who reviewed it?
No.
Why aren't you reviewing it?
January reviews suck.
Yeah, nobody cares about movies in January. That's not true. There's tons of great movies released in January. Just do it.
Beyond that, Doug sounds unhappy and lacks the enthusiasm he once had.
Yeah, we're mosquitoes again.
We've done this a million times.
In fact, I think complaining about it has been done a million times.
Well, I think this joke is that he's supposed to sound not enthusiastic here, but
We'll repeat something that's been so overdone.
Without adding anything new to it.
Granted, I understand Doug has been doing this for about 15 years now, but it's almost like his passion has entirely evaporated. I mean, all the recent Nostalgia Critic videos are filled with overlays that cover Doug's face for 99% of them.
well, it probably has something to do with the fact that he's gotten older, but he's still playing this character that he probably used to be really fun for him, and now it just feels like a drag, and he doesn't want to experiment with doing something different for whatever reason.
I wonder if it's because his face shows that he's not into it, but that's just a theory. Either way, it's unfortunate because his facial expressions are as entertaining to watch as Vsauce. In my opinion, Walker isn't to blame, but is rather someone who sat on the sidelines while the corporate blaze of drama burned his friends alive. I feel like he just wanted to stay out of the business side of things. But by failing to speak up, he got
He just wanted to keep his job, but I get what you're saying.
to witness Channel Awesome destroy themselves from the inside out. That guy with the glasses was an era of the internet that will never return again. Its demise serves as a glorious reminder of what once was like the ruins of Rome. Just like with Fred, Ray William Johnson, and Smosh, that guy with the glasses was gutted by a corporation. Alas, we have seen yet another YouTube OG
I turned it off.
nostalgia. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
Bye, Jay. Lovely as always.
I want Papa God to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.
Lo que sea que estés a punto de ver, será mejor después de un break con frosting y relleno. Crazy good.
It's been a while since we've talked about being.
Thanks for checking out the stream today. I really appreciate it. We're just finishing up the inside area.
Overweight. Obviously, that's the only thing I have an expertise in. This video is called Thin Privilege is Having Men Be Attracted to You. Fat Acceptance TikTok. It's from Funny Times, I think. I don't know. I really can't speak Let's just go.
God, I know. Thin privilege, it's so not real. I know that you can't go into stores and find clothes in your size. I know you can't just go to Target and grab a medium hoodie off the rack. I know that you can't just go to In-N-Out and get large fries and a burger without anyone judging you. People actually thank you for normalizing getting fast food and normalizing and helping them with their eating disorders. It's just so hard.
Wait, that one just sounds like she's complaining about people who have eating disorders in the opposite direction. They're like too skinny and they're like, thank you for eating with me or something. Now she's just, listen, bro, I don't know if I would call it like a thin privilege, because I think the concept of like privilege is weird. Like being thin is, or being a healthy size, because being too thin is unhealthy. I feel like that's just default. Right? That's just supposed to be default mode. You know what I mean? And then, unfortunately, people gain a lot of weight. And it's a lot of times it's like different issues. First of all, you're the fat person. It's 100% like your control. It's hard, though. It's easy to lose weight, not easy to keep the weight off, right? We know there's systemic issues as to why people are overweight. You know, we have very addictive foods and whatnot. Our FDA is ineffective. We have healthcare problems that prevent people from really being able to get, or it's very expensive to get things like insulin, which can help you get the motivation to go back to the gym, because if you're insulin dependent, that means that like you're probably like feeling super sluggish all the time. You know, there's a lot of these different things, but like, so I call it like a fat disprivilege, I guess. Like, it sucks. I'm a big guy too. It sucks not being able to find clothing, but like, I wouldn't, you know, call that a thin issue. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not thin people's fault that I'm fat. I don't know. Like, you know, sometimes you gotta buy some more airplane seats. I've never actually had to do that before. Wow, that died so easily. I got fucking killed 3 times with that. You know, you buy a couple extra seats. A lot of airlines have like a thing where you buy an extra seat and then they'll refund you if you don't use them all. So I don't know. I just wouldn't call it I don't know. I don't like the privilege stuff. You know, call it that. I don't know. It sucks, but like, you know, maybe make some ways to lose weight. And again, like slow effort. Try to get that 20-minute walk in every day. Don't drink your calories. Try to, you know, have whole grain carbs if you're gonna have anything. You know, stuff like that. You know.
And I know that
eat fibrous, nutrient-dense vegetables every meal. Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? You know what I mean? I love you too. Yeah.
Guys totally don't prefer like moderately thin women.
But yeah, guys do prefer thin women. I think that guys now like prefer like women that are like not as thin anymore. I think that like, the beauty standards have shifted a bit to like thick-hipped women that are a little chunky. That's just what I think. But you know, I certainly like it. But like again, like that's, you know, that now we're bordering like shaming people for not wanting to fuck you. You know what I mean? Like if I walk up to a woman and she wasn't attracted to me, I was like, oh, so you won't fuck me? Oh, what a privilege. You know what I mean? You'd call that harassing them. You know, but according to, you know, some fat acceptance people, the people that become toxic with it, like this person seems to be, like it's like shaming people into wanting to fuck you is acceptable, I guess.
They are usually Eurocentric and white. It's just so hard. Like, it's so not real and it doesn't exist.
Is that what she is?
And just...
Dude, she's fucking railing out the fattest fart right now.
Fat people have it so easy and it's so normalized to be thick.
Thick.
I get your struggle. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So she gave a few examples of what thin privilege is. She said buying clothes off the rack is thin privilege. It isn't.
Like, it's more about the availability. Like, it's difficult. I know somebody was like, no, it's easy. Walmart has 5X now. Not everywhere. At least not by me. It's still a little difficult to find clothes that fit for me. But, like, I'm not calling it, like, a fucking disprivilege here. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
He then said that some stores not having plus-size clothes is thin privilege. But there are also a lot of stores that are plus-size only, like Torrid. So
there are not a lot of stores. Like, I just want to be explicit there. There are not a lot of stores, and Torrid's quality is really shit, and it's really expensive. Like the fat clothes is an issue, and you can say it's because there's not as much of like a demand for it. That's fine, but like it is not as available at all. A lot of the sections are taking plus size out of their thing. You know, so it's not a huge availability of exclusively fat people stores. That's just not true. But there is some available. You know, you can get them online, but it makes it difficult when you buy stuff online because you can't like test it yourself. And like, yeah, there's issues. I just wouldn't call it a privilege. I wouldn't turn myself into a fucking victim about it. You know.
Are thin people oppressed in those stores? Then she said that eating burgers without judgment is thin privilege. Eating food without judgment.
I will say, like, you know, just because I'm a fat piece of shit, it doesn't mean you have to stare at me while I have my burger. Okay, I know I'm fat. You're not going to make it in. But that part is, like, an issue. Just like, yeah, well, I'm fucking chunking it out. Like, just leave me alone. You know? Give me the side eye, but don't let me know, you know?
Isn't a privilege. She also said that being thanked for helping people with their EDs is a privilege. that isn't a privilege, and it's also not exclusive to thin people. I've seen a lot of fat people getting praised for helping other people recover from their ED, so I think you're just not looking in the right places.
I think it's just talking about, like, on TikTok, it's mostly thin people that are like, oh, you ate today, and they're getting, like, praised for it. But that's like an eating disorder. I mean, I think that, like, you probably have some kind of bad relation with food at least, but maybe even an eating disorder if you're fucking obese, so just stop in that direction.
And lastly, she said that men preferring thin women is the privilege. That's not a privilege, because having someone attracted to you, physically or romantically, isn't a right. And then she also mentioned that men prefer women that are white and Eurocentric.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Like, you know, like European beauty standards, Western beauty standards are pretty, it does exist, for sure, but she is that. So.
First of all, what does that have to do with thin privilege?
What did you say?
Second,
well, she's just trying to, like, fucking overload it.
Are you not white and Eurocentric? I don't understand why the white and Eurocentric thing was mentioned. But overall, none of these are privileges. And if you're going to consider them privileges, let's also point out all of the fat privileges that exist, like most clothing stores selling plus-size clothing at the same price as smaller sizes.
That's not true. Bro, listen, this is the problem, okay? Sometimes we go overcorrect here, okay? You know, fat acceptance movement is good because it's supposed to be about teaching you to love your body so you'll change it and become healthier. And then we've overcorrected by saying that everything is fatphobic, and then this is an overcorrect because it's not the same price. That's not true at all. I don't know what to tell you. I literally am fat. I know that's not true.
Plus-size clothing is often sold at the same price as normal-size clothing, even though
incorrect. What you're saying is incorrect. I don't know what to tell you.
More fabric and more energy to make plus-size clothes, so the cost of your clothing is being subsidized by smaller privilege, or that your heating bills are lower. If you have more fat on your body,
if this person said this comedically, I'd be like, that would be fucking very funny. Come on, bro, I dodged that. Get the fuck out of here. It seems oppressive.
You'll probably stay warmer in the winter, which means lower heating bills.
Be hotter in the summer, so it's gonna, like, average it out, like, you know what I mean? Bro, stop fucking with me.
Fat privilege. And she said that not being judged for the food you're eating is thin privilege, but what about all the thin people that get shamed for eating too little at Christmas dinner every year?
Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. If you were joking, this would be a funny video, but, like, the fact that you're not being, like, you're being serious is, like, silly to me, that you think that that's, like, a privilege. What the fuck? Alright, that's crazy.
Is that not thin oppression? Now, to be clear, I don't think any of those things are privileges, just like I don't think any of the things listed in the video are privileges. But if you're going to consider buying clothes at Target and eating a burger without judgment to be a privilege, then there are a lot of ways in which being fat is also a privilege. Which,
I mean,
just goes to show that thin privilege isn't real. And if you want to know more about my opinion,
I call it fat disprivilege, guys, okay? You're disprivileging your arteries.
On that, I have an entire video where I break down in detail why thin privilege isn't real. I'll link it above and you can go watch it. But, yeah, none of the points in this video are actual privileges.
Where the fuck am I supposed to go?
Why should I be calm? I have a...
This is a joke. When there is literally a less than 1% chance a person of my size will ever been thin, but everyone thinks fat people just don't try hard enough. I mean, listen, bro. If you're fat, just be like, yeah, I am. You know what I mean? Like, just that's as far as it has to go. We don't have to gaslight ourselves into thinking, like, at the end of the day, you're the only one that can really control your weight. It can be hard. We talked about that before. It can be difficult, for sure. Like, let's not ignore that. But I mean, like, can we not like do this whole thing where, like, oh, I'm trying so hard? Like, you might be. That's the thing. You might actually be trying hard to lose weight as a fat person. But the problem is, like oh, this is like a common thing that fat people do, and it's part of negative diet culture. What happens is I get fucking thrown up on, and then I walk around like an asshole, and I can't fucking do anything. What ends up happening is that people will diet, like, maybe they'll diet and they'll exercise all day, and then they'll binge at night. Sorry, I farted. And then they'll binge at night. Okay? Damn, that really threw me off, that fart. I've been having sugar-free candy a lot because I'm trying to lose weight and, like, get healthier. So now I've got gas. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, we're doing too much. But yeah, so what happens is, like, a lot of times people will have a bad relationship with food. They'll under-eat significantly, and then they'll binge-eat really, really, really badly at some point, and which completely negates it. And they'll do that on a daily basis. It's a problem. It's part of, like, diet culture, not teaching people the correct things. I think that we need less of a focus on losing weight and more of a focus on health, which will cause you to lose weight. But when people focus on losing weight, when they don't see the numbers on the scale, they get, like, really self-conscious. They feel like they failed. And they've got these directions where they're like, oh yeah, I can't lose weight. I just don't think I can, you know. That's the problem, you know. And people, they just have to have the correct approach about it. How the fuck? Oh, I just have to hit R1 here. I think. No, I don't. What the fuck, dude?
Right to be upset!
So if you didn't read the TikTok, it says, when there's literally less than a 1% chance a person of my size will ever be thin, but everyone thinks fat people just don't try hard enough. So she's saying that effort doesn't matter when trying to lose weight because less than 1% of fat people will ever become thin. But weight loss isn't impossible, and there haven't been any comprehensive studies done on the likelihood of achieving intentional weight loss done in the past 20 years. So this less than 1% number makes me very suspicious. So
it's probably people who like tried to lose weight and it just didn't pan out for them because they didn't like commit to it in some capacity. The fuck did I get
went digging in the comment section to see if there was any citation for where this number came from. And y'all, this creator, Maddie, came out swinging in the comments to defend this statistic while spreading a whole bunch of other misinformation in the process. So let's go on a hunt for this 1% statistic, because a bunch of other people that saw this video also did. I found no less than 10 comments where people asked where this number was from, and Maddie's response was always some variation of, Google it. Someone asked, but why? I don't get why it's so low. Her response, give her a Google. There are plenty of resources out there. Give it a Google. Where did you get this percentage from? Quick Google. Literally, where did you get this statistic?
I mean, I guess we'll have to give it a Google.
Pretty easy to find with a quick Google. Fun tip. When I don't trust a fact, I love to do my own research. It's a good life skill. 1% is pure misinformation. Google it. This is TikTok, babe, not a news site. Google it yourself. I guess I should make a video on this, since none of you have any interest in typing into Google. And some people were so...
Let's see. People with obesity have a slim chance of obtaining normal body weight. Okay, I already see what's going to happen here. Researchers say less than 1% of obese people get back to a healthy body weight. So this is like super duper misleading because I'm going to guarantee you that's based off of the BMI scale. And what they're saying is, like, let's say I'm 350 pounds. Let's say BMI says I should be 150. I don't really know what it would say. Right? Probably would say like I'm 200. But let's say I'm 200. I'm 350 pounds. And then it'll says that my healthy body weight is 200. If I go from 350 to 250, I'm not in a healthy body weight, BMI-wise, but I'm still healthier. Right? So this statistic is actually saying it's just dumb. It's a very misleading statistic, and clearly there's at least one person using it to justify why they're overweight. Because when you look at something like this and just go, oh, I guess I just can't lose weight. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't help you at all. What is this here? It's a gun. Do I need this? I don't know. This isn't helpful at all. This is not helping anybody. It's not making anything better. And that's really what's happening here. So, like, yeah, you can lose the weight. You don't have to get perfect. You just have to get better, you know? That's really all it is.
So kind in how they asked, and were completely giving her the benefit of the doubt, and this was her response.
Well, I mean, yeah, her response is fine. The statistics she uses fucking dog shit garbage, but her response is fine. Of like, go look it up. I just did. I just have to type like in 1%, blah, 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 whatever.
Someone asked, can we get a source for that statistic? I believe it, but I'm curious where it came from. She responded, I'll probably make a video eventually, but it's a quick Google. Someone replied, what exactly do I search to prove that less than 1% of people your size or larger can become slimmer?
Just Google that. Literally put that in the search bar. Just put that in the search bar. Like, not for nothing, but, you know, come on. Some of these people need to just do their thing.
Maddie replies, well, clearly you didn't look because it's very easy to find.
Yeah,
the person replied, no, I didn't look, as I'd like to know what I should search to prove your point. I'm not hating. I genuinely like to
how the
sources.
fuck do I get
and she gave no response. Someone asked, source? Maddie replied, give her a Google. And the person replied, Google what exactly? So I'm clearly not the only person that really wanted a source for this claim. But Maddie goes on to say, if you take this video as me telling people to give up, you need better comprehension skills. I'm asking you to stop assuming we're lazy. It's wrong. Why are you blocking people and deleting their comments even if they're being respectful?
I mean, that's fair. Okay.
Maddie says, I don't delete respectful comments. The reply says, yes, you do. I have screenshots of my friend commenting. You blocked him and deleted all his comments even though he wasn't being rude. If I blocked him, he was being rude. It's not something you get to have an opinion on, honestly. No, he wasn't. He explained how you misinterpreted the statistic and asked for a source and you blocked him. Maddie replies, I don't need to argue with you. You decided that my body is their opinion. I didn't misinterpret the statistic and I've said, Google it. If you and your friend don't want to learn and you want to get all up in arms about me deleting comments, truly have fun. But really,
you guys don't respond.
realistically, you could just move on with your day or read other comments in which I've shared sources. My question is why you're taking screenshots. Why are you so up in arms about a stranger's video? Move on with your day. The person replies, what? What does my body is their opinion even mean? And now you're just changing the argument. My point is very simple. Don't try to change people's minds, then when they try to have a respectful discussion, you block them. Maddie replies, if I blocked him, it wasn't respectful. You can tell by these comments. I clearly have no problem with having a discussion.
Online
a different person replies, why are you lying?
Both of them are annoying. I mean, just go look it up.
I've seen you delete plenty of respectful comments. You deleted a comment asking for a source. How is that disrespectful? Probably asked in a rude way. Don't remember. I've given sources in the comments, and it's easy to Google. TikTok doesn't require bibliography. The person replies, why are you being difficult on purpose? This is not how you convince people of your views. Maddie replies, I'm being difficult? That's hilarious. Maybe the person I replied to deleted their comment. I don't know. I researched and listened to a bunch of studies. I'm not going to do that for every commenter. Just fucking Google it. There was a study in London, from what I remember, and one on Healthline, I believe. But you have the skills to use the internet. I believe in you. The person replied, just make a comment with your sources and pin it. If someone asks for a fact, when they ask where you learned it from...
But what's funny is that, like, they're both going back, and this is like, ridiculously easy to find, and they're both going back and forth on it when they both, like, clearly it's not an effort issue. Neither of them are, like, lacking in the effort or ability to do this task. They're both just being lazy, and they're, like, annoying online bickering idiots. Like, who cares about them? Both of them are very annoying, like, these commenters in this scenario.
Don't just say Google is free, because that's rude and just plain weird.
It's not free. You actually have to have an iPhone with it. I find that to be, like, super duper classist that you would even insinuate it. Like, your privileged perspective in America suggests to you that, like, everything is free, but, like, realistically speaking, there are actual, like, internet. In order to get the internet, you have to, like, fucking abuse 17,000 people in a different country. Like, I don't think that you understand that. There's literally people in other countries starving right now, and you're saying that it's free. This stuff costs money, okay?
I told you black mambas have extremely deadly venom, then you ask me where I found out, and I tell you Google is free. Are you going to be annoyed? Or are you going to say, oh yeah, you're right, my bad for being lazy and asking someone to cite their sources. I should just find the sources myself because I can totally tell which source they learned it from. And Maddie replies, the irony of calling a fat person lazy and then being too lazy to Google is not lost on me. This person didn't call her lazy. They made a sarcastic reference about themselves being lazy, but she saw the word lazy, and that was it. It was directed towards her. So yeah, people were trying really hard to find where the source of this 1% claim came from, and she would not provide it. She just told people to Google it and that they were lazy or not finding it themselves. But aside from that, Maddie also replied to a lot of comments with more misinformation when it comes to health risks of obesity. And
did you look it up yourself? It doesn't sound like this creator looked it up. Why not look it up? Bro, die.
And how people become obese. One commenter said, wait, I genuinely don't understand what this means. Like, why can't people do it? Obese. One commenter said it's information when it comes to health risks of obesity and how people become obese.
Are you going to show us the misinformation she passed along?
One commenter said, wait, I genuinely don't understand what this means. Like, why can't people do it? Maddie replies, genetic cases aren't that rare. Not sure who told you that.
Listen, I'm sure that there is, like, a genetic factor to, like, being overweight. Like, maybe you have a slower metabolism or something, or, like, I don't know, there's also a factor of your body what is it called? Thermogenics? I could be wrong about that. Like, the way that your body processes all the food that you eat and whatnot, like, how much heat it requires, like, weird shit. But at the end of the day, like, it's calories in, calories out, and it's about, like, there are systemic issues, but, like, literally everybody can lose weight. You know, there's very rare cases where, like, it was justifiable. Like, yesterday I saw a TikTok of a really overweight young kid, and I was like, wow, that's, like, really rough. I don't want a kid like that. And I was like, wow. And I thought, like, why would you do that to your kid? So I looked into it, and one of the pinned things was, like, hey, my kid got a fucking brain tumor, and it had this impact of I don't know, in some capacity, causing him to be overweight. I'm like, oh, that I understand. Like, I mean, like, that's fucked. You know, like that, I get that. You know what I mean? But there's very few, even if you have, like, low metabolism, even thyroid problems, you can lose weight. It's about, like, increasing your energy level and eating better. It's hard because, like, food is addictive, right? But you have to, like, always work on that addiction. Or, you know, because you're only really hurting yourself. So.
Someone replies, genetic cases that prevent you from losing weight are not common at all. There are very few that do that. Maddie replies, untrue, Dave. Another commenter says, genetics don't defy thermodynamics. Maddie says, and you think 99% of people are just lazy? Someone else says, I think 99% of people aren't in a caloric deficit for a significant period of time.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't say it's lazy. Like I said, the heaviest I ever was almost 400 pounds when I worked like 60 hours a week. So, it's not really, I mean, like, obviously, if you're not physically moving a lot.
Yes.
Losing weight is all about accountability.
Sure. I think it's about having personal accountability while also acknowledging systemic issues and, like, trying to lose weight over the long run instead of trying to, like, crash diet. Because we have bad diet culture. Like The Biggest Loser. Oh, you didn't lose fucking 10 pounds in a week. Wow, you're a fucking loser. These are all things that have a negative. Oh yeah, I didn't want to do that. Fuck.
All of these commenters are right. Genetic cases that cause people to become obese, especially morbidly obese, are very rare, and most people are obese because they overeat. But she also makes some really broad generalizations in some of these comments. Someone said,
what does she make generalizations about? Fucking broads?
You don't destroy your metabolism with dieting, you destroy it by incorrectly dieting. And Maddie said,
yeah, that's my understanding. If you incorrectly diet, like you crash diet, you eat like nothing. I mean, a lot of people will end up failing because of that, and then it ruins their metabolism. So, like, yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, we all incorrectly dieted growing up. That's the point. Who's we? All. We're saying incorrect dieting means bad diet.
I mean, you could still reverse it, though.
That's not true. Not all fat people grew up going on fat diets. That might be your experience and some other people's experiences, but it's not.
I think that might be, like, I feel like we didn't learn to diet well at all growing up or anything. I feel like we were in a generation that didn't really understand. Well, there was definitely, like, diet culture. But I don't know. I wish that they taught us, like, how to cook and stuff in high school and stress the importance of it. I thought I picked that gun up. What the fuck? Come on, pick it up. Oh my god, you're shooting me. You can't do this.
Everybody's experience. And she said in another comment, having an eating disorder destroys your metabolism. The idea that fat people just eat a lot is ridiculous. This isn't true. I have no doubt that an ED can ruin your metabolism, but not to the point where you are obese or morbidly obese without consuming excess calories.
Well, yeah, of course. It would just make it harder because your excess calorie consumption would be lower. Oh my god. It would just be like your what is it called? Your baseline calorie, like whatever caloric intake would be lowered. So it makes it, it would make it more difficult to lose that weight.
Nobody's eating 1,500 calories a day and is morbidly obese just because their metabolism was ruined. Another commenter said, it's like, seriously? It took time to get to this size. It takes time to get it off. Also, not to forget the mental health issues we also have to combat. So at least this commenter acknowledges that the weight can come off with time. But Maddie replies, even if we had no other health issues, which, to be honest, every fat person has other health issues.
Probably.
Fat shaming is...
Not every one of them, like, but it's going to happen as you get older. It depends on your level of obesity, but yeah, generally, sure.
Stigma cause weight gain. Like, stop. So every other fat person has health issues? Are you saying those health issues are caused by being fat? Or are you saying...
This is a pretty nice view, actually. I like that a lot.
Saying that that their health issues causing their obesity. I'm saying that, like, I think that fat people, like, you can be fat and healthy, but that usually means that you're young. If you're somebody that's fat and you went to the doctor and they're like, oh, your blood's good, you should still try to, like, lose weight. And you can take it, like, obviously slow. Dude, I fucking dodge rolled out. The dodging scene fucking sucks. You should still try to, like, lose weight because, like, eventually you're gonna get older and it'll put a stress on your body. But yeah, generally speaking, it's gonna lead to, like, some kind of health problem.
By those other issues. But aside from those claims, Maddie waffles back and forth in the comments over what the purpose of this TikTok was. Because a lot of people are saying that the statistic is wrong and she's using it to try to discourage people from attempting weight loss, which is how I would interpret it. But someone commented, just because only less than 1% manage to lose weight doesn't mean it's impossible. It doesn't mean they shouldn't try. And nothing from habit comes easy. And Maddie said, don't know where I said...
It's not that they can't lose weight, it's that they don't get to a normal health. They don't get to a healthy weight size according to BMI, I believe.
Shouldn't try. Another person said, people don't like to hear this because it means that their own weight loss efforts are mostly futile. They get defensive. And Maddie replies, true, man. In another comment, she says, the less than 1% are very loud about their success, and we as a society cling to it. The statistic I posted is fact. It's not based on what you saw. And someone replied, we were trying to advocate that that sort of weight loss is near impossible, which could discourage some people.
Again, thanks for checking out the stream today. I do it whenever I can, so yeah, like today it's my day off, so it's whatever.
Out there from trying. And Maddie says, it is near impossible. I'm allowed to talk about facts. Another comment says, weight loss is hard, but not impossible like this girl is making it out to be. And Maddie replies, don't see the word impossible anywhere in the video. But in another comment, she says, just because something is, quote, possible, doesn't mean it's something we should kill ourselves over. So she goes back and forth between...
Yeah, well, let me tell you something fucking not even else killing you. Okay, just let you know that. It's like, it's from personal experience.
He's saying, I didn't say it's impossible, but also agreeing that it's
I didn't say it was impossible.
Nearly impossible, and putting the word possible in quotes, as if to say that it's not possible. So her reasoning for making this TikTok isn't to convince other people not to attempt weight loss, but she's just giving out a statistic that shows that weight loss is impossible. She's not saying that weight loss is impossible. The statistic is saying that weight loss is impossible. But weight loss is possible. There's no modern scientific evidence that shows that there is a 1%, 5%, 10% chance of being able to achieve intentional weight loss. So while she says the reason for making this TikTok was to just share a factual statistic that happens to support the idea that intentional weight loss is nearly impossible,
I'm still baffled that like nobody else was managed to find this statistic. Like, and even the person who made this video so far. Like, why not? This exists. You can find it, so you can debunk it.
The actual reason for making this.
How did I walk through this? What the fuck?
Is the other way around. She believes that intentional weight loss is impossible, so she made up this 1% number to try to
She didn't make it up. She's like misquoting a fucking dog shit statistic.
convince other people that intentional weight loss is impossible. And you can tell this is true by how hard she's fighting in the comments to not have to reveal the source of where she got this 1% number. If all this TikTok was meant to do was to share a fact, then it shouldn't be this hard to share the source of that fact. Because remember, we're still on the hunt for the source of this 1% number. But the full version of that last comment said, just because something is, quote, possible, doesn't mean it's something we should all kill ourselves over. And we do. Fat people are made to feel inhuman.
You're gonna die anyway, so you're gonna enjoy your Oreos. You can have Oreos healthily, you know what I mean?
And a reply says, interesting choice of words, considering unhealthy weight leads to more disease and generally premature death. Maddie says, that's actually blown way out of proportion.
That's certainly not, but...
I recommend the podcast maintenance phase.
I don't recommend that podcast. I recommend a doctor, okay? You know?
You want to learn more about that. And if you don't know anything about maintenance phase, it is ground zero for the spread of misinformation when it comes to obesity and weight loss, particularly in the fat acceptance community. So it is no surprise that she tries to cite a podcast where the hosts have no medical experience as a citation for why obesity is not as unhealthy as people think it is. But that person replies, it's not. It's really not. If you spent one shift in a hospital for any medical theory, you'd know it's not blown out of proportion. But go off. Maddie says, I work for doctors and was raised by them, babe, but you clearly don't.
What? She works for doctors and raised by them? What kind of doctors? Like fucking horse doctors? What's she talking about? Come on, bro. You're just embarrassing yourself at that point. Jesus Christ.
I want to do more research, just want to talk about things you don't understand. I have a suggestion. If you were raised by doctors and you work with doctors, why not have one of them come on your channel and make a video about how fake the obesity crisis is, and how overblown all the health effects of obesity are, and how weight loss is nearly impossible and shouldn't be attempted? Why not do that? It would give a lot more validity to your ideas.
I'll just embarrass that doctor, really.
Than citing a podcast made by people that are not medical professionals. And let's also point out that the do your own research thing is textbook science denialism behavior. Do your own research is like the battle cry of science deniers everywhere. When they are losing, when they are trying to convince someone else of their nonsensical views, the move they'll pull on their last breath is, you don't know what you're talking about. Do your own research. Think for yourself. Another one of Maddie's comments says, there has never been a single day in my life I haven't actively worked on my body or mental health. How many thin people can say the same? A lot of thin people can.
Well, I mean, the real argument you would say is like, well, they don't have to do as much work because they're not overweight, right? So.
And say that. Are you saying that most thin people don't take care of themselves?
Yeah, I would say so. 1,000%. Most thin people don't take care of themselves. What are you talking about? Absolutely. Like, the reality is that, like, when, like, most thin people, I'm not saying people who go to, like, the gym, like, regularly, et cetera, whatever. Most thin people, though, are just, like, they have never been fat before, and they've just eaten whatever they wanted. They just don't want to eat that much for, like, whatever reason. Maybe there's, like, a genetic hunger factor. I don't know. Fuck me. Maybe there's a genetic hunger factor. Maybe they just had better, well, they obviously had better protocols growing up. But yeah, most thin people don't think about shit. I rolled the wrong way. Fuck. That's absolutely true.
And she said in other comments that the point of this post was to say that fat people aren't lazy. But you have no issue essentially turning that around on thin people and calling them lazy or neglectful or whatever other descriptor you're trying to say that fat people are not. That seems a little backwards. Another comment says, if you stop eating food, I guarantee there's a 100% chance you'll become thin.
Well, if you stop eating food, you'll die, so like, don't do that. That's one of like the difficulties with it, because it's like you have to eat to survive, you know?
And he says, no, I will die. The response says, yes, after you lose all your body fat. I mean, they're both technically right. Another comment says, you can't really put a statistic on that because it depends solely on the person's willingness to stop their addiction and unhealthy habit. I didn't make up the statistic. I didn't say that you did. Now I'm a little conflicted whether you did. Yeah, see, this person knows what's up. And mind you...
Well, they didn't make up the statistic, so...
We're scrolling through all these comments, searching for where she said that she put the source for this 1% claim. We still haven't found it yet. Another comment says, okay, but nobody gets that big for no reason, and health issues only account for a small percentage of obese people. Many of them do this to themselves. Maddie said,
that I think is ignorant. Like, nobody wants to be fat, okay? We're not doing it to ourselves. Like, usually it's something, it's like it's a behavior that you, like, grew up with, and it just kind of like, you know, when you're younger, especially when you're younger, you don't really feel the negative effects of it too. So it takes a while, and then you get older, and by that time you're kind of like set in your ways, and it's just like there's a lot of different factors here. Obviously, it's still in your control, but I don't want to like, oh, it's all your fault. It's like, oh, there's a lot of systemic issues and shit. So I think it's something to keep in mind.
You're making that up. I've never met an obese person who didn't have another health condition causing it. Okay, so in that last comment,
you probably get the health condition from obesity.
She said that all fat people have other health conditions. Yeah, she was saying that they all have health conditions that cause them to become fat. What are these health conditions that all fat people have that cause them to be fat? Not that are caused by being fat, but directly cause them to be fat. This is not true. There's no evidence that most...
yeah, it's called fatty boom boom syndrome, okay? Have you never heard of that before? That's why I'm fat.
Underlying health conditions cause people to become obese. What health condition only started becoming common in the past 30 years as the obesity epidemic has taken off? When someone replies to that comment, then how come we never had so many obese people as we do now? Obesity rates have tripled in the past 2 decades. Maddie replies, it's...
Because we have like a culture. We're lazier as a culture. We have like a lot of this, like the internet. Jesus Christ, bro. Why it's supposed to auto-aim to an extent? Fucking... yeah, what was I saying? There's like laziness and shit. You know, people are using the internet more. They're being lazier. A lot of their hobbies like revolve around staying inside in some capacity. That's just kind of where we're at. You know, there's also fast food cultures. There are food deserts, but like I think that we have an ineffective FDA. Marketing like very addictive. I dodged that. Are you fucking with my balls right now? Ooh! This is a little spicy, guys.
It's interesting that you bring up that point. Do you truly think in the past 2 decades we have just gotten lazier? It's clear there's another reason.
Yes, we have. Like, it's objective truth. Technology makes people lazy. What do you mean? We have gotten lazier. What are you talking about?
No, but they for sure are eating more junk than they should be, and now the media enables this, calling it body positivity.
We need to stop blaming obesity on like body positivity because it's just very ignorant. Body positivity came from fat people not wanting to be like violently harassed all the time and like fucking looked at like worthless pieces of shit. So they started creating like fat inclusion movements, saying like, hey, just because you're fat, you're not a worthless person. The idea is so that you have self-confidence, so that you can go to like the gym, because it can be hard going to the gym. Part of it is because like people judge you at the gym.
Thanks for checking out the stream again today. I really appreciate it. Everyone who is able to check it out.
Or you might even just perceive that they judge you, but people do it before. People have judged me being in the gym before. Like, it shit happens. You kind of have to toughen up. But, like, that's just the reality. And so it's about, like, making it so that people can go outside for walks or, like, go to the gym. Or, like, yeah, be able to eat food without being, like, shamed. You know what I mean? Like, if I go to the gym...
Super chatted $1.
Hey! Thank you so much. Like, you know, my wife lost 2 pounds last week, so I gave we went out and got, like, a little treat. And it's like, oh, you're going to judge me for that? Like, why? Problem is that it went too far, of course. Now there's some people that are like justifying it, and it's got like most other movements, it goes too far. But that doesn't mean that the movement fundamentally is bad. The real thing that it comes from, again, is like systemic issues, like that, like of different, like us being lazy as a society because of technology, not teaching proper diet culture, etc. I fucking died for real.
Person also This next comment says, "I'm sorry, but how?" Maddie says, "A quick Google. Tons of studies." The person replies, "Any keywords?" Maddie says, "There's an article by Healthline, one by NCBI, one from King's College London on the website Science Alert, and more."
Science, more like Nerd Alert.
We found the sources. Okay, so she said there's a Healthline article. That's way too vague to point to any specific article. There's literally thousands of Healthline articles, and a bunch of them on weight loss, so I can't know which one she's talking about. The one from NCBI has a lot of studies. It's kind of just a database of studies. So I looked it up, and I typed in NBCI weight loss, and I got all of these results, just a ton of results, and I have no clue which one she's referring to. I even clicked on a few of them, and I didn't see anything about 1%, but I'm also not going to read through all of them just to guess which one she's talking about. And I even Google searched it with the 1% term, and I still got all these results. And the top source was from 2004 and didn't mention anything about less than 1%. And this goes to show why people were asking for specific studies when they asked Maddie for her sources, because this is what happens when you tell people to just Google something, especially something as vague as weight loss. you get a bunch of results, and I guess she wanted her viewers to go through all of these studies to find the one that supports her 1% statistic, which sounds very tedious, especially considering she claims to already have the source in her possession and is just refusing to provide it. But the third source, from King's College, I actually did find, and I think this was what she was referring to in the earlier comment when she said that there's a study from London. But the main thing to note about this study is that it was not an intentional weight loss study. It tracked people over a 9-year period and kept track of who lost weight and who didn't. But it never tracked who in the study was trying to lose weight. In fact, it took out bariatric surgery patients from the data. So yes, according to this study, there is less than a 1% chance of getting to a healthy body weight if you are obese. But not all of the 99% of people who didn't succeed even tried.
Right, and also a healthy body weight is going to be based on BMI. It doesn't actually count weight loss. It just counts like getting to what you would be considered a healthy body weight.
And she said multiple times in the comments that this is a fact and it proves that weight loss is nearly impossible. But the statistic was heavily misrepresented. But there's another comment here that says, this is kind of misleading. Those chances are not because it's hard, but because many people at that point don't even try. Not saying it's easy. And Maddie replies, studies have been done in control groups, which means they were trying, actually. But there's only one study you've brought forward to support your statistic, and 1, it didn't track if people were actually trying, and 2, it didn't have control groups.
We classify persons according to their BMI value for the first round. I mean, if it's probable, okay.
Because it didn't track if people were trying. So both of these are untrue when it comes to her only source that backs up this 1% statistic. So I don't know if she didn't read the study or just misinterpreted it or expected nobody to actually go look at it, but that source does not support the idea that there is a 1% chance of achieving intentional weight loss. Overall, the entire comment section was a mess. There were so many false and weird claims made, like genetic disorders that cause obesity are very common, and that all fat people have underlying health conditions that cause them to be fat, and that thin people don't take care of their health. Not to mention the assertion that supposedly factual information that is stated on TikTok doesn't need to be cited because TikTok doesn't require bibliography and Google is free, which only opens the door for people to spread as much misinformation as they possibly can and say literally anything on TikTok with no scientific evidence or citations needed. I could make a whole TikTok account about bringing awareness to the magical and healing effects of eating styrofoam, and you can't ask me for proof. Google is free.
Oh, I was just looking for like the sources cited in here. Okay.
Oh.
I don't know, since they mentioned that you didn't need a Bible. I mean, okay.
You can't find any sources? Well, you're not looking hard enough. But this comment section as a whole exemplifies the behavior of any science denialism group. Instead of providing sources for their often outlandish claims, they either tell people to do their own research to educate themselves, or provide a resource to a non-credible Facebook source, or in this case, a non-credible podcast. If it takes this much work to find a source for someone's claim, then don't believe the claim. She went comment by comment, telling people to Google the source of her claim themselves.
He was called Redeemer.
Instead of writing and painting a comment saying, hey, here are my sources, since so many people have asked. That would have taken significantly less time. But instead, she buried the 1.5 sources she had at the bottom of her comment section, and then got angry at people for refusing to go through the tedious work I did in order to find them. And it's all because she knows her claim is wrong. But we're going to watch one more TikTok.
She probably believes the claim. She probably interprets the information in a way that makes her feel like she's right about. She's saying, "I hate these enemies." You know, one thing that's annoying about this game is that I was playing it yesterday for a while, and the difficulty just spikes out of nowhere. I hate games like that. So you don't really learn how to deal with these difficult enemies very well, and then boom, they thrust a bunch of them upon you, and then you gotta learn how to deal with them. It's kind of annoying.
Creator. So I got a comment on one of my posts the other day that said, lose weight, it's not rocket science. And you know what? You are so right. It's not rocket science. I wish it were rocket science. Rocket science makes sense. Rocket science is based in definitive answers. It's based in math. Nutrition and weight loss is not that. There's a reason the diet industry is capitalistic.
It is simple. The only thing a charitability I'll give to her is that people fuck up the interpretation of it so poorly and badly, and they don't take into account the mental health aspects to losing weight. A lot of people who try to lose weight, when they have one bad time, they'll be like, "Oh, I guess I can't lose weight. I fucked up," and it's like a toxic fucking relationship there.
It's because everybody's looking for an answer. Everybody's looking for the right way. And sadly, the truth is, there is no answer. It's not as simple as a calorie deficit, going to the gym.
It is as simple as a calorie deficit, but then, like, it's one of those things where people, if you restrict too much too quickly, people are going to feel like so restricted that they're not going to stick to the diet, which is why you want to start, like, slowly, you know?
Just not eating cake or eating salad. Each person's weight loss journey is...
Especially, like, it is that simple. It's just not as easy because, again, you're addicted to food. So it makes it harder when you have, like, an addiction to it, especially since you need to eat, you know what I mean? So it makes it a little difficult. I'm not saying that, like, it's impossible or that should make you give up. It's just something to be aware of so that you can properly do it. So it's like, instead of not eating that cake, like, have, like, a fucking half of the cake that you were going to have. You know what I mean? Have a banana instead, or have a banana and wait a half an hour. And if you still have that sweet craving, because that's part of it, it's just a craving, then, you know, you can operate from there.
Personal to them, and only makes sense for their body. Each body is different. There are hundreds of factors that affect weight loss. So before you go commenting, because it was so easy for you, or because you think it should be easy, remember, it's not rocket science. So she mentioned that the diet industry is capitalistic and looking for an answer when it comes to weight loss.
Well, it is capitalistic in the sense that it wants you to, like, if you this thing is just running everything. If you think about it, like, what's the point? Like, if you're a nutritionist and you're trying to sell, you're not going to give somebody an effective diet that they can stick to. On top of that, a lot of these are fad diets. It really is, like, you know, just do your best to have calories in, calories out, and, like, there's no big breakdown on, like, the mental. Oh, I thought that was Paul's team. On, like, the mental health aspect of it that would allow you to take time and, like, okay, I'll take time, I'll lose weight, I won't, like, get destroyed when I make a mistake. Those are some of the big things that people have problems with.
First of all,
not like my wife and I were eating really well before we went to Disney, like, last year, and we went for that week, and it's disrupted us so much that we couldn't maintain, like, we just didn't get back into it. It's just so weird. You know, there's just some, like, issues there that people have to push through.
Not all diets are created by the diet industry. You can make long-term healthy changes to your diet, which is what a good diet is, and also not support the diet industry. For example, if you switch from eating chips or cookies as a snack to eating fruit, or switching your liquid calories like soda to water, neither of these changes support the diet industry, but you are still changing your diet in a healthy way. And second, the diet industry isn't looking for answers. It's looking to sell you something.
Exactly.
Which is why, if you look for a long-term weight loss...
Well, that's kind of her point, though, right? So, like, you kind of, like, for that part with that, you know, you gave her a little bit of
a solution from the diet industry, you'll probably be disappointed. And probably why you've tried fad diet after fad diet, and it hasn't worked.
Right, yeah, but that's, like, one of the problems, especially when, like, the diet is in, like, oh, health fart magazine tells you that, you know, 10 ways to lose this. Like, yeah, people need to be more responsible and find things better. And, like, she's looking at fucking medical information that justifies her not losing weight. So obviously, it's like, she knows that she can look at the easier things or better things. But, like, to her, a little bit of her point, like, yeah, there is, like, a lot of very obnoxious narratives about weight loss that don't help, you know.
And she's making a stance that the diet industry is bad in this video, but from this TikTok and the last TikTok, it's clear that she has internalized a lot of the negative messaging from the diet industry.
Yeah.
She said that the diet industry exists for weight loss. That isn't true. The diet industry is there to make money, but
But I think that's what her point was, no? I feel like you misinterpreted what she's saying. She said it was very capitalistic. Oh, my fucking tits.
Fell for the marketing. In the previous comment section, she kept saying over and over again how she's not lazy for not being able to lose weight, even though nobody called her lazy. But again...
Well, I think that was the point of her original video, was that, like, oh, you're lazy if you don't lose weight. And so she was just, like, kind of piggybacking off that.
You're lazy if you remain fat is diet industry marketing. And she talks about how the science of weight...
That most people think that. I just want you to know. Like, that's just to be clear. Oh, my God.
Weight loss is constantly changing. That's not really true. The science behind individual weight loss is pretty consistent year to year. The science always says to reduce your calorie intake. But new fad diets come out every year that claim to be science-based, and that's what she's referring to in this...
Make this your best golf season yet at Dick's Sporting Goods at Golf Galaxy. Try the latest game-changing clubs.
King N64 Wings, I'll give you $100 if you play Pizza Tower Steam game instead. You always have the oddest requests, man. E-Divas. Like, normally I would have said, like, China, but she's dead. See, I gotta download Steam again. You boys reported for duty or what? Was gonna donate 130 beans, but Bono timed me out. Shit, that's like a whole can of, things. I'm sorry, I gotta go through. Like, I don't know. I never use my fucking Steam account. It's like, click which things are buses. And then it has like a lorry. Like, is a lorry considered a bus? These are hills, but I guess they're considered mountains. Give me a second, boys. Alright, I need help from you guys at this point. Because I didn't plan on playing Pizza Tower during the stream. I planned on playing Diablo 2 all the way up through Act 4. So, anybody that has me on Steam, could you tell me what my account name is? Does anybody here have me on Steam? Please don't guess, because I know it's not Wings of Redemption, it's not No Gods, No Masters. It's like, it's either WORICP or like WORGODICP. I don't know which one it is. It's like I clicked, I forgot my Steam name or password. I put in my email address, but the email address that I use isn't the one associated with my Steam account. I don't know what that email is either. Okay, thank you, Big JP. I got it. Okay, I figured it out. Thank you. All right, so now I got to get to my 2-step authorization. Now we can find Pizza Tower. Dude, Pizza Tower's $20 fucking. I thought shit was free. I thought this game was gonna be free because people keep asking me to play it. Like, this shit looks like Mario. Pizza Tower is a fast-paced 2D platform inspired by Wario Land series with an emphasis on movement, exploration, and score attack. Let's see what my friends are playing. Smitty's playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Is what it is. We can go back to Diablo. What do you guys want to do? Like, we can either go back to Diablo or we can do something else. Play the damn game. Dude, I don't want to play something. I don't want to play it. It's a fucking 2D platformer, man. It's not a game for me. I wish I could refund you your fucking money. Let's see, we have Diablo 2 Prey, Bioshock Infinite, Dead Space, Destiny 2, which I'm saving this to play with Blackout off stream because I downloaded it. Rainbow Six, Modern Warfare 2, and we have Doom 2016. That's what I got installed. But see, this is what I hate. Like, you're going to say I scammed him. I didn't ask anybody to donate that money for the game. I seen it was on. I seen it cost $20. Man, you guys are asking for something that's like super complex. Well, like, first off, like, when you donate $20 through Super Chat, it has a 30%. YouTube takes 30% of it. Okay? And at that point, what is 30% of 20? Like, 50% would be 10. You know, 25% would be 5. That literally takes me down to like $14 is what I actually get before taxes. Because YouTube ain't gonna refund it. Hey, Brez, thank you for the $1, man. It actually might be 16. I'm sorry. Probably math. Because I did. No. It might be. No. Well, I haven't even factored in taxes. God, I hate when people do this shit. Like, why you put me in this position? I wish there was a button I could click and just refund the money. But I can't do that. I don't do the tax write-offs on games anymore because since I got married, my marriage deduction is bigger than my itemized deduction, and you only can pick one or the other. Like, I can't consider it a tax write-off. How about this? Other than playing Pizza Tower, is there anything I can do for your $20 you donated? No. I'm not dyeing my hair green for $20, guys.
Oh, come on, be fun.
Okay, we'll download Pizza Tower. No, I'm not pissed. I'm anxious now. I don't like spending money, honestly. I fucking hate spending money. Especially on something I don't want to play. Kelly, can you bring my wallet, please? I need to be banned for acting this way? For what way? Because I get anxious about spending money? Because
I think compared to this building, this one is a lot more detailed, which is good. That's what I was kind of going for.
Before taxes. No, I'm saying I wish people wouldn't do this. Like, if it, like, don't ask me to play games that aren't free. And at the end of it, like, don't just throw money at. That means for games. And I got installed. I mean, you don't know what I have in my savings account. You don't know what bills I have paid. And shit, like again, just got quoted $12,500 to put a new roof on my house. First time ever having to replace a roof. So it has like a Ninja Gaiden thing here. Z jumps, X is like this dash. So you press Z to jump, and hold the down direction to roll. You can break marble and metal blocks underneath with a body slam. Press down while in the air. Start with a body slam higher to destroy metal block. Some blocks may be hidden. Keep an eye out for them. Press X to destroy them. Res, thank you for the $5, homeboy. Press X to do a dash scrapping and destroy marble blocks. Hold up to start a mock run. If you hold up and jump on a wall, you can do wall running. Hold dash. Hold up. Was that up or was that enter?
Though I might change the entire exterior of this house to dark oak because I like the design on this texture pack. And it just looks kind of awkward like that.
Like I'm holding up. He's not doing anything but looking scared. So I'm holding up. Pizza tower. Yay. Alright. What am I doing wrong? Hold up to start a mock run. If you hold up, then jump on a wall, you wall run. Shift? Oh, that's shift? Okay. Press Z while wall running to jump off the wall. Keep shift held to stick to other walls. Tip you can use the dash. Fucking lord. Press X. Dude, why I hate this fucking game? Press X and hold shift for a quick start with a mock run. Try it out. I can't do mouse and keyboard. Fuck, does it hurt my hands? Alright, you can also jump after pressing X in order to do a long jump. Hey, dude. I can't use a controller on this game.
Hello, Eric. How's it going?
Got it.
People's Republic of China, huh? Is that real or a meme?
Go away. Hold dash. What does this shit say? In order to destroy metal blocks, you need to gain speed by doing a mock run. You also hold back to go even faster too. How am I supposed to do this one? Okay, I did it. Turn around while not running, press the opposite direction. Try turning before falling down a hole. You retain your speed once you're on the ground.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're actually from China then, huh? That's cool.
Start here. Mock run. Swoop. Swoop. Got it. Oh, Nick. Fuck, boy. I hate fucking platformers. I never play this shit because I hate... First off, like, my hands are starting to hurt. I don't play PC because of carpal tunnel. While at high speed, hold up, release to perform a super jump. Lord. I did it, but I don't know how I did it. So let me get to the failures, bud. What does this shit say? You can grab things with grab dash by pressing X again. If you hold up before throwing, you'll send them up things. Collect these in order to get a better rank. Some can only be acquired during escape. You need to save most of these dudes in cage in order to advance to the next floor. They'll give you money. Pay Mr. Stick. Destroy John the Pillar in order to open the exit gate. This will reverse the stone pillars. Get out now. Like, I feel like they're doing this just to make fun of me, though. Because I can't play PC games. I barely can do the tutorial.
Get cable-free live TV with no hidden fees and watch whenever you want with unlimited DVR space. YouTube TV.
I'm sorry, I can't play that mess. Dude, it's got like 3 buttons, but like it's Shift, Z, and X, and it's like I'm not coordinated enough to do mouse and keyboard. I played it for 15 minutes, but like it is what it is. I don't know why he thought I'd want to play that game to begin with, and he's not saying anything. Yeah, I'm about to get off because I feel like shit now, though. I'm probably just gonna get off, boys. I don't know how to refund games on Steam. I didn't rage at the game. I didn't like it. I hate that cheery, like, cartoon vibe. I don't like platformers. Like, it's just not my type of game. I mean, the tutorial was whooping my ass. Like, I don't do mouse and keyboard. Like, there's a reason. I just don't do it. Like, I'm not good at it. I don't play mouse and keyboard. There's a reason I play on console. That's why I don't. That's why every other time I didn't even like give like. There's a reason I don't even give people that suggest me to play PC games the time of day. I'm not good with mouse and keyboard. It hurts my hands. I'm not coordinated enough to use mouse and keyboard. I have this many viewers because they wanted to come and like see me fail and make a little montage about shit. Joe, I said that 5.5 years ago. 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 5.5 ye And I quit playing Call of Duty for 4.5 years. I just recently started playing Call of Duty again with Vanguard. Though somebody threw $20 for me to play the game, I went out there and I bought the game. Alright. See, like, oh my lord, like, this is why I don't like doing this. This is why I didn't want to play fucking Hogwarts, because I didn't want to play Hogwarts. I didn't want to play Pizza Tower. You know, it is what it is. Like, I go into the wrong mindset. I don't want to play Rocket League, dude. Like, that's not my game. I play a certain style of game. I like first-person shooters. I like RPGs. You know, a mixture between those. Well, I feel bad because the guy donated $20 for that, and I feel bad because of it. But like, I don't know how to make it up. I don't know. I made it well known that I didn't want to do it to begin with. I can't refund him, dude. There is no refunds on Super Chats. Alright. I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks everybody for coming out. Big ups N64. Thank you for the donations, man. I'll see you guys a little bit later.
To an audience from Finland about Uvalde. Like, to make a message about gun violence that's going to go viral in America. But to an audience of Finns.
Idea what he was talking about.
So I don't know if his speech is like super audible here, but.
It's a strange day for me. I was so excited to play tonight. But yesterday, after what happened in America, I couldn't help but cry. I couldn't help but be fucking in pain for the fucking 19 children that were fucking. He literally probably had to go, 19, like
if you get any details wrong.
This dude has not a
Maddie
single
Healy's
emotion
impression, though, was
or feeling
spot on.
Yeah. I think part of it, too, is, you're in the UK. I'm sure there are European tragedies that you can talk about, right? Like,
The Manchester bombing, except you can't talk about that because it was an Islamist terror attack.
It's super easy to dunk on America. Like, oh my gosh, the world thinks we're bad with gun violence. Like, okay, America is bigger than all of Europe. Our states are bigger than those countries.
That was a big problem during COVID when everybody would be talking about COVID numbers. Like, look at the numbers in Finland. And they're like, America's like 9 million times.
You can only compare Finland to, like, what, Michigan?
Yeah,
like, you have to do comparable populations here.
That was a very annoying part of COVID.
See how much better Europeans are than Americans? This is why we should be socialists.
That was the people who were telling me, like, they're like, look at these places where all the women run the countries. We need more women in charge.
There's a podcast called The Political Orphanage or something. I was just listening to the host talk about, like, you can't really compare healthcare in Europe and these small states to, like, America, because if you ask Europeans, like, do you want the EU to run all your healthcare, they're like, no, of course not.
We have individually, I know this isn't really the point of this podcast, like, I'm from Minnesota where we had our own, like, Minnesota Care healthcare program if you were low income, right?
For whatever reasons, like, you can't expect Europeans to understand the difference, which I think is, like, rude to the Europeans. With this guy, like, saying, I am so upset about, like, yeah, loss of human life is very serious and very sad, but, like,
this is not sincere.
You are not doing anything.
Nobody's looking at this dude and thinking he actually cares.
Play the rest of this video. It's too good.
Beats his chest.
He's looking in pain.
He rehearsed this beforehand.
Yeah.
In Florida, Texas.
It isn't your problem because you're on the other side of the world. We believe you!
Children!
But the other thing is, like, he doesn't.
I love the 13-year-old girls just being like,
People are saying, like, why can't Israel and Palestine just get along?
Well, he's saying, like, oh, this generation is, like, the hope, right? He's not acknowledging that the shooter was of this generation. He doesn't acknowledge that the shooter was of the generation that he's saying is the hope of the world. Like, what are you doing? You obviously haven't analyzed the situation at all.
This generation is so unequipped to solve any problems.
Why? Because we can. Because we fucking can.
It's just dumb.
Oh no. Then all these Finnish girls are like, who is Mitch McConnell? I'm clapping. Name 3 of Mitch McConnell's songs. I dare you. Tell me what state Mitch McConnell is.
The problem is like, I agree, Mitch McConnell's awful.
But not for your reasons. No, but he couldn't tell you what part of government Mitch McConnell is in. He couldn't tell you what state he's
Literally,
from.
it's like that video of Billie Eilish where she's like, "Fuck Brett Kavanaugh," and all of
She probably can tell you what office Brett Kavanaugh
at least
is
she's
in.
from the same country.
Well, actually, you could probably say, like, he's trying to be a Supreme Court justice. Like, if you ask Yoga, like, who is Brett Kavanaugh, I know he'd be like, what, is he a skater?
I hate it.
It's cooler if Mitch McConnell actually listens to Youngblood and then deletes his music off his phone because he's like, I'm not listening.
I'm standing against it.
He's like, well, you were on my Spotify rap playlist this year, and now you're not. Like, you're not gonna be on my Mitch McConnell Spotify rap next year because you blamed me for voting.
You know,
how is this not cringe of the day? This should have been cringe of the day.
It's old. Probably this from a little while ago.
Yeah, this was from a while ago, but you know,
I'm sure he'll give you another cringe of the day soon. His dramatic music.
They never say They never actually say any words.
Let him cook.
They never actually have any words to say. This is one of the things that I talk about a lot. Is like they just say things that sound good, but don't say anything at all. They say slogans from signs.
Did he donate the proceeds of this concert to the Uvalde Relief Fund? No. Like, he used it as a talking point to make himself look better, to generate more social influence and definitely financial influence, and then did nothing about the problem that apparently he's so concerned about. Like, that's what gets me, and I don't think anyone should look past that point.
I just never want to hear anyone else from the UK talking about American gun violence ever. Like, he's like, they might tell us it's not our business because we're on the other side of the world. And I'm like, yes, it's literally none of your business.
And if you care about violence, talk about rising knife crimes in the UK. But you're not going to do that because
Or shut the
fuck
up and sing your music, Judd.
That's not an option, Brett.
Dance, monkey. Just do your job.
Also, I heard that
about knife violence. I'm okay with it, but
I heard that a member of his audience on whom he spat beer got an ear infection from it. It's kind of like that story from Warped Tour where Christopher Drew gave someone a water bottle because they were about to have a heat stroke, and then they got herpes from him or something. It's just, these people are gross and insincere and preachy and woke, and I'm tired of them. And maybe I don't agree with Matty Healy on most things, but his impression was spot on, and these people should be called out and mocked mercilessly because you simply don't know what you're talking about, and you're preaching so that teenage girls will applaud you.
I stand by.
Tell me what state Mitch McConnell is from, Youngblood.
It'd be funny if he knows.
He's genuinely wondering, please.
He knows all of it. He's actually mad because he used to be Mitch McConnell's biggest fan.
He's a pronouns in bio, fake emo, pop punk wannabe edgelord.
It's gonna be cooler if one day we find out that all of them are just really far right and they're actually just acting.
It will not be funny because speak your actual values. It would be more interesting if he were far right.
I'm more of a nihilist.
Fascinating if he were far right and was just openly in Sweden talking, or Finland or wherever talking about it.
I love Nick Fuentes.
They are picking the safe things to say, right? Saying America has bad gun violence is the global talking point. No one actually cares. I mean, they say they care. They do nothing about it. You should talk about crime in your own country if you are so concerned with it, right?
Yeah.
But
More recently, there was a death of a trans teenager named Brianna Gay, I think.
Yeah.
And he had, of course, a tweet saying, utterly heartbroken about the death of 16-year-old Brianna Gay. Protect trans kids every day. Fight relentlessly against anti-trans sentiment and legislations being pushed on by our heinous government. Rest in peace. And I don't even know if are we talking about the same government?
Okay, actually the sentiment one is kind of broad, I get it. What policies are you talking about? And what do you actually mean? And the whole protect them every day thing, it's
protect trans kids.
Protect out all kids.
But also
only the way we tell you to.
Only the way that we say is acceptable. If you don't want them to get irreversible medical procedures, You're not protecting them. Yeah, you're harming them.
These are pop artists who are playing lowest common denominator music to the lowest common denominator audience, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I still believe, to this day, I believe that the death of hipster culture came because nobody was willing to wear a MAGA hat, ironically. And one of these people needs to be ironic and start bringing, like, ironic right-wing talking points into their act.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Matty Healy is
That's a little bit what he's
honestly.
doing, yeah.
Like, he makes a lot of music that has, like, lyrics critical of, like, the leftists and basically, like, people like Youngblood.
I just get tired of, like, the political talking point, right? Like, do something more than read the random headlines and say, like, oh, this politics said this. Like, think critically about the philosophies that you find, like, important. Like, read about theology, make some point, go to original source material and produce your own.
Thanks for checking out the stream, by the way. If you're just now dropping by, I do it whenever I can, which is now, I guess. But yeah.
Thought. Don't just say, I know this is bad, so therefore I'm more heartbroken than you could even understand about it because I'm such a good person.
Well, it's like what I was saying about Joaquin Phoenix. He's not saying his own words because he's not actually doing any of the research into it. So. All right, we got some super chats there.
All right. South of Angels said, I didn't know Slavic was a color, Brett.
Yes.
It's Tim's favorite talking point.
Yes, it absolutely is. So you don't have to worry about that. It was like the National Coalition of Colored People.
Yeah,
it's officially recognized Slavic people as a group of color.
But I want to know if Slavic people recognize the National Coalition of Color. Like, are they saying, like, okay, cool, we're in it, or are they like, no, we don't want to be a part of your group?
Like, what if after all this, like, the UN invites Ukraine, and they're like, you know what, we don't even want to be part of your group anymore?
No, but I just mean, like, if you're Slavic, do you see, and you're like, I see myself as white, and they're like, no, but you're a minority. Are you like, no, I'm white?
I don't see myself as any. It's so weird, dude. Like, maybe it's just like the way I was raised, but I don't like. I just always thought of myself as an American. I didn't really have strong.
That was Meghan Markle before she went to the UK.
I didn't have strong like I'm Polish and Croatian, and I like other than having a grandparent that listened to polka. I don't really have a strong connection to anything other than the American traditions that were part of my family. I don't think of the other stuff. It just doesn't really resonate with me. I understand that it does with other people, and they have very strong connections to their heritage. It just wasn't.
I would wonder because a lot of like common American traditions are actually rooted in European culture. That like in some ways you are in touch with it more than you recognize.
Perhaps.
Probably, yeah.
In the chat, somebody says, "How are Slavs colored?" No idea, man. I'm just telling you what the truth is.
I need more people in the minority group, so they brought in Brett.
I just sent you the video that I was looking for before of Youngblood like spitting on his fans. But apparently there are so many videos of him doing this to choose from that I wasn't able to find it. He does this all the time.
It's disgusting. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
Do we show this to people? I don't want to watch this.
Nah, don't show people. They can look it up on their own.
Gross.
Yeah, but like there's like a wealth of content of Youngblood just spitting on his fans who are usually at least a decade younger than him. Really weird. Chris Noski said they should cast Hannah Claire for the next Fast and Furious movie as the villain trying to take it all away. But does that mean we're breaking the fourth wall where like Hannah Claire knows that it's a film franchise but the characters don't?
Would it be funny if I was in a Fast and Furious and I don't even watch it?
Who's it?
Actually Brie Larson. You know.
There was an actress who was in Avatar: The Way of Water who said it was filmed so long ago she thought it already came out and bombed.
That's funny.
The lady who plays the general. The one annoying diversity hire character who just doesn't look like a general at all.
I don't think she's a diversity.
She's a frumpy-looking lady who does not look like a general. Maybe in today's world she might be a general.
She's a general because they have this, like,
General Frumpy.
They have this insane technology that literally makes you, like, a bionic human. So everyone is on an equal playing field. You literally are operating a giant robot body that could destroy someone.
Your logical explanation has no hold over me. General Frumpy. That's what we're calling her from now on.
That's like Angela Merkel.
Fair enough.
Bert Fegg said, my girlfriend wanted a romantic night at the drive-in. I spent most of the night trying to find out what car she was in. Sorry, buddy.
Do you listen to the band at the drive-in? That's the real question. Do you listen to the band at the drive-in? And if you haven't listened to the song Quarantine, it was what I listened to for the first, like, it's one of my favorite songs. It kind of, like, re-entered the rotation when COVID happened. I almost said COVID like a Canadian there. COVID. When COVID happened.
A Canadian or a Minnesota?
I don't have a Minnesotan accent. I do not.
Yeah.
I do not.
Wait, what are the differences?
I have no idea. It's all over-exaggerated, like people who've seen the movie Fargo.
Sorry, what do you put your groceries in when you're leaving the store?
What?
A bag?
A bag?
Is it like a bag or something if you're in Wisconsin?
A bag?
Minnesota too, I think.
Bag.
Yeah. Also, like, I had a roommate who was from Wisconsin, and she said, instead of root, she said root.
Yeah, a lot of people say root.
What?
Oh, and in the chat, I have to point this out. Doom says, didn't Triple H spit on his fence? Yes, that was like the first thing I asked when COVID happened. I said, how the hell will Triple H do his entrance where he gets on the ring apron, spits the water out if he can't anymore? But then he got sick and now he can't. He doesn't perform like in ring anymore. He's an on-screen personality, but he doesn't actually, like, that was part of his in-ring entrance when he's about to have a match, so he doesn't do that anymore. But hopefully he can come back one day and it won't give people COVID.
Last of my kind said, when you pick up the money, do you put the bill's face up?
I do not organize. Hannah Claire organizes.
I organize them while I'm sitting here, like when they're on my desk. But when I'm like cleaning up, if I'm subbing for Mary, like I just put them in a stack and they go on the table.
I also like how
there's no time.
The whole point of this camera was so that it would show like all of the bills when it's done. But Hannah Claire's organized it all, so it won't look very impressive today.
Throw them on the ground.
She's done it.
Well, if only we had that on episode 300.
I know, right?
When it was a disaster zone in here.
Yes.
Yeah. Megan Lee Daigle said, "Happy Mardi Gras, PCC. Thanks for all y'all do."
Is it Mardi Gras right now? Awesome.
It's also Fat Tuesday or Shrove Tuesday, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know what that is.
It's like you get shriven, you go to confession.
Oh. What's shriven? I don't know what that is.
Getting shriven means like that you are like absolved of your sins.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you go to confession, but you also like eat a ton of Cajun food.
Oh, right on.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it does.
Darius Harvey said, "Y'all just started. Recap. Hashtag James's PV."
He says so James is Project Veritas. It's very relevant to this. Hey, the number one thing I thought of that had nothing to do with politics is where the hell am I going to get my show tunes from now with no James O'Keefe?
Well, maybe you'll get more of them now that he has extra time on his hands.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Let's go.
It's a blessing in disguise.
The real question is he going to? Will he ever come back on? And will we get to hear Oligarchy live? And is that owned by Project Veritas or is that owned by James O'Keefe? I need to know because I saw that list. That like one of the things that they used to get him out of there was like he like used DJ equipment for personal use or something like that. It just that list of stuff they got him on was like minuscule.
That's so made up.
It was so fake.
Matt's Xbox Emporium said birds aren't real.
I've ever told you a story when I used to work for a call center. I was there very briefly, and there was like the place where you do the calls, and there was like office workers as well who did general administrative stuff. And there was the most straight-laced, normal guy, suit and tie to work every day. Looked like 2.5 kids, drove a minivan, and he had a huge "Birds Aren't Real" sticker in his cubicle, and I could never figure out if it was a joke or not.
It must be a joke, right? When one of my favorite memes from the beginning of quarantine, when we all like locked down or whatever we were doing, was a picture of a bunch of birds on what must be solar panels, like in the ocean, and they're like, they want us inside so the birds can recharge. I just can't think about that all the time. I always look for pictures for birds. Yeah.
Incredible.
Pauls and the Kid said, "Birds aren't real, space is fake, math is a scam."
Well, I mean, Common Core math.
Common Core math seems crazy. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the CIA to have fake birds. Some birds are real, for sure. I feel like they have some real birds, and then they mix
CIA
with the
like,
flock. Right, they were like, this is an easy way to find people. People don't suspect the birds. Mm-hmm. Dumbledore said, "To a large extent, people value human connection far too much." That's why they pay for simulacra, games, thoughts, super chats.
I mean, is that too much, or is that just...
See, I think people want human connection and pay for it so that they only get it in the capacity they want.
On their terms.
They want on
If you've already lost interest in the real thing, you're coping and getting a simulacra.
Right, and they can't take any accountability for, like, maybe they interact negatively with people, like, maybe the things that they do are unpleasant for people. Like,
everyone else is a narcissist.
People only want adoration, right? Like, people only want to hear, like, think your ideas are good and whatever else, and, like, the best part about true human connection is to have people who, like, hold you accountable and who help you become a better person.
There's nothing, like, I wish I could do an entire segment on the things on Instagram that annoy me, because it's
They get you in such a bad mood.
It's stuff like that, where it's like, learning to get rid of the narcissist from my life, and it's always, I'm like, what, did they, like, say something, like...
Toxic people out of your life, a.k.a. anyone who holds you accountable for your decisions.
Your dad's like, maybe you should go to college. You, Dad.
Or, like, if someone says no to you, it's like, well, they didn't want me to. Like, my manager at Starbucks misgendered me.
even
Cut
that's,
toxic people out of your life.
Even that's like a more general. It's usually worse than that. It's like your parents are like, maybe sitting around playing video games all day isn't the best thing for you to do. Look, they don't understand me. Cutting toxic people out of my life, cutting toxic narcissists. It's always, they call everyone a narcissist. It's projection.
In some ways, narcissism is more rampant in our society than in times past, because
But the people saying that are narcissists.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it's narcissist inception.
Also, I think they don't understand what toxic people mean, right? Like, someone who says, like, no, I'm not just going to go along with whatever you want because I'm afraid of upsetting you, that doesn't make them toxic. It just makes them maybe someone who doesn't share all your values or who has a different perspective.
Luis Aguilar said the narcissism vanity economy is in full swing.
Yep, that is 110% true.
Matt's S-Box Emporium said, I declare no balls on Brett's theater excursion.
Look, I mean, I don't know any single women, they said, like, women go to the theater to see romantic comedies together. I've yet to see that when we go to the theater. It tends to be people
but
coupled
we're in
off.
a rom-com drought, though.
I mean, I don't
we're
even
in a rom-com and chick flick drought.
Horror movies might be your best bet.
They need to start releasing one big action movie and one big chick flick at the same time and get all of the single people together and go.
Oppenheimer is not necessarily an action movie, but it's definitely going to be like male skewed, and then the Barbie movie is coming out the same day.
This
is the perfect day
This
to
is
use
your
the
opportunity.
line.
I'm going to see Oppenheimer. Mary's going to see
Go
Barbie.
approach a girl who is walking into Barbie and use the pickup line. It's perfect.
I'll buy two. The goal will be to like
You want to see Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
after?
like to see if you can.
Or like,
like if you can get her to not see Barbie but go see Oppenheimer.
I don't know if you're going to convince her not to go to
I think
Barbie.
you just want to get her phone number so you can maybe contact her to go get some coffee. Like, it's not to make her change her movie choice. It's, you know.
It would be a flex if you could get her to change her movie choice, though.
So she would go with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's borderline kidnapping. What are we doing?
Caper2X said, Ladies Brett is begging for a wing woman. Help him.
I am not begging.
You don't understand. I can lead the horse to water, but if he'll hit on a girl, it's not under my control. I can go to the movies with Brett, but if he was actually going to use this amazing pickup line, it's up to him.
Potatoes for Seamus said, Hey Mary, are you a snack? Because I totally can sneak you into a movie theater. Where's my money, Brett? And Hannah Claire, thank you.
Now
you
I'm
have to
picturing,
do it in real life to really earn the bet.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing like sneaking someone into a movie theater, like the trench coat thing with like the
They
stack
stack
on their
them.
shoulders.
When I was in high school, there was like a really cheap movie theater, and it was pretty close to a grocery store, so we used to kill time, like go buy stuff in the grocery store, and then like stuff it up our sweatshirts. And the poor workers who were there must have hated us so clearly. We're carrying like a family-sized box of Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Like
why are you square?
It's like,
are you body shaming me?
Or like going in with like an entire like drive-through McDonald's meal and being like, I don't know why I smell like fries.
I've done it.
They can like hear the ice in the Coke.
Oh, I cannot wait to get Chick-fil-A later. My last hurrah before Lent. Sketch Therapy said, Tim Pool builds businesses, jobs, and supports education economically. Holly Weird pretends being paid to do their job or representation helps others. It doesn't.
Like, I mean, most of it is like, it's kind of for their own ego, right? Like, one of the things that I didn't mention earlier, like, beyond the BAFTAs, like you mentioned, like, they have their own award shows, there are hundreds of articles written every year about these luncheons and these like events that they go to where they just jerk each other off and tell everyone, you're so great. And they say, oh my god, no, you're so great. Will you please just jerk me off? Yes, I would love to, Mr. Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. It's freaking awful. I hate those art. More than anything, I hate those.
Alrighty, that's the stream for now. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be back soon with some more content. So, yeah.